fallen humanity backed by name. From left to right, the mind aligns in sacred balance. The soul now shines. No more survival, no more disguise. A higher operating system starts to rise. Through solitude, stillness, calm and grace, we remember truth in this time and place. Cause no harm, cause no loss, do not impose whatever the cost. Walk in truth, walk in light, let the heart and mind reunite. Bioactivator, 0-point field. I am that I am, the highest revealed. From body to spirit, we come back alive. Upgrading the human, from surviving to thrive. Yeah, physical body waking clear, etheric currents drawing near. Emotional waters now restored, mental pathways in one accord. Spirit rises bright and free, rooted in love eternally. Meridians open, the signal is strong. Organic Wi-Fi all along. Cause no harm, cause no loss. Freedom is sacred, whatever the cost. In gratitude, in love, in grace, we are remembering our rightful place. Bioactivator, 0-point field. I am that I am, the highest revealed. From body to spirit, we come back alive. Upgrading the human, from surviving to thrive. This is the call, this is the sound. When in a heaven and earth are found, communities are rising, hearts in tune, under the sun and beneath the moon. A lived example, steady and true, a path of remembrance, open and through. No savior outside, the light is within. This is where real life can begin. Bioactivator, love amplified. Left brain, right brain, now unified. Through stillness and presence, we finally see the cosmic connection of what it means to be free. Love, light, gratitude. The signal is clear. Oh, bioactivator.
That was a song by our good friend Baret Tounian, all the way from Bulgaria, who has written that song, which is really quite amazing. So here is the final season 2 episode of the Truth Table. It's hard to believe it's been another season. There's been a lot of rain because it's April. Oh, it's raining right now. You gotta watch what you say now. Get the power of words. Rain, stop. See? Just like that. Technology gives you magical powers, does it not? So welcome everyone to the Truth Table episode 50, 54, 53? Oh my God, I don't even know. I have to check. Last one was like 53.75 or something. Yeah, no, 52. So it is 53 technically. We've got John Holtz, Zotnya, Johnny Z, and Baret Tounian with us, who wrote that last song, and Jesse House should be arriving at any time. But what we are celebrating is the New Year's the Passover, the full moon, the pink moon, Happy New Year's, and the end of the hump month of March. One of 3 hurdles we're going to face this year, so we can gratefully say goodbye to March tonight. And because all that decades old hidden information has come forward and weighs us down quite a bit, just as Gene Dixon predicted. So we are going to have a relaxing show with multiple topics and just a send off to fulfilling my mission, my goal to inform. And it took 2 seasons to do that, but I'm grateful for all the guests that I've had. My one guest, Johnny Z, today, we had a hell of a time trying to do shows together. The what would you call them? The internet gods shut us down quite a bit. So we're gonna start right after this.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
This might be the latest show I've ever done. All right, let me bring on my beautiful guest, Johnny Z. Welcome to the Truth Table once again.
Namaste. I gotta whisper. It's real late. Just kidding. Thank you for having me back, Paul.
We
I
could
was
do
missing.
it. We could do late night ASMR.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here we go. I got it right here.
Plucking negativity away. Plucking.
Yeah. There's some 432 for you again.
We are going to pluck negativity away.
That's right. That's good. But we got a lot of plucking to do, Paul.
Lots of plucking. Yes, it's a plucky month. It's very plucky month.
It's been a plucky year. Yes, it has.
It's like Iran and Israel are plucking each other.
Yeah, they sure are. They're plucking us and they're plucking us at the same time.
Yeah, like go to the gas station, you get plucked there too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right. Baret, my beautiful friend who wrote that beautiful song.
There you go. They're plucking him too. I'm sure they're plucking the whole world.
That's why we all have bells, you know.
Yeah, we got bells and whistles, dude.
We got to chase these demons out of our place.
That's the truth. They
like us.
Yeah,
they want us to be bad.
They sure do.
But
this is what this is for.
That's what this is for. Yep. And a lot of people use sage, and you burn sage with cedar and tobacco, and that will also cleanse the environment around you. And that's one thing I do love about the native traditions is
absolutely
they really knew what they were doing. You know, people don't understand why are they burning this sage, you know. But there's a reason for it. It's not just a cultural thing, it's a spiritual thing. And the prayers are very spiritual, and they don't want any demonics to enter that space. They want to be with God, the creator, and they don't want any outside influence. And that's a good way to purify the area you're in. I've already did this house. I went all the way around with my sage and said, "No, you're not allowed to be here." It's too bad sage doesn't get rid of spiders, though. It doesn't do that. You have to use peppermint. So use 20 drops of peppermint, a half a cup of vinegar, white vinegar, and a half a cup, a quarter cup of white vinegar and a half cup of hot water, or not hot water, but just water. Mix it all up because spiders and house bugs, they don't like peppermint, eh? So I spray that everywhere, the peppermint, and I haven't seen a spider since I did it. They're just not happy. And spiders taste with their feet. So when they're crawling on you, they're actually they're like licking you. It's gross. They can taste you. So what a place to put your taste buds, on your feet. Can you imagine? Ugh. Let me taste that spaghetti. That spaghetti looks good. Let me just have a little taste and put your foot on it. So that was a beautiful song. Did you make any others, Baret? Because that was quite a
Yes,
nice song.
Thank you. I appreciate.
I liked it too. I was going to say that. Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. I enjoyed it.
There's a few more which will I will launch very, very soon, and I've also had the honor of putting the book together as well. At some point, we'll be launching that as well, which will complement the whole thing together. So excited.
Ah.
Excited. I was going to say, brother, your 432 background music as well is a testament these times, because obviously that when you're talking about clearing as well, obviously that's doing an impeccable job there as well, and you're a credit as well in so many ways.
Yeah, I play it really quiet.
contribution.
People have actually complained that the music's too loud, but can you hear it at all?
No, it's fine. I think it's fine. I can hear everything.
Yeah, I want it to be like really low, not
No, it's
distracting,
perfect.
but like a medicine, like a subtle clandestine medicine. That's how I see it, I see that we're in a war. We all seen that, right? And we all have our role, I think, to play in that for others to hear and perhaps adopt some of the prayer tactics or the music tactics, healing tactics, healing bowls.
Yeah.
Some people have rice bowls, but these two guys.
My first one too. I just went to a holistic. This is my first one because I was staying away from him because I like to buy locally, and I just went to a holistic thing at the mall. They had a nice little thing, so I of course I roll up to the Tibetan dude, and I'm like, yo, bro, like let me. He walked me right through it, he laid me down with it, so then I finally got it. So it was a nice design inside with the can't really see it right now because I don't have the lighting, but I was drawn to the inside, It's got all the mandalas in there and shit. And then he told me he didn't even know the hertz, but I rang it, and I tuned my ears since I've been awake, And he rang the third eye one. This one's for the heart chakra. I said I didn't know, but I said I like that tone. And he's like, then he put it on his guitar tuner right on his phone, and he's like, yo, heart chakra. So it was nice, I see him and his wife, and I'd rather support local businesses.
I spent my whole life in 440 music. It started before I was born, like probably most of us in the 50s.
Well, yeah, because they took it off when after World War II, right? Right after World War II, they changed it. Is that right? I don't know the exact date, but yes.
Yep. And but here's a good example of the power of sound and how it can affect someone without them realizing it. This is a baby crying. Let me see if I can't show this. Here it is.
I love
this video. Instantly.
Yeah.
The ringing.
Synchronized, Paul. so synchronized. I watch this when I've got my bowl.
Do you see the pleasure? That's medicine. And it also also shows the power of words, the power of sound. It just took that sadness from that child away. I just love that.
Beautiful.
So a little parenting tip. If you have a baby that's crying all the time, get one of these bowls.
Yeah.
And you'll see exactly how effective it will be, and it'll help you as well. Because it's hard to hear someone suffering,
Mm-hmm.
and some people have babies that cry a lot and they don't know what to do. So there's see, this is the final episode. We're going to be sharing some important things that tips and loopholes. Like I have a biblical loophole. Let me see if I can't find it. My memory's not the greatest, but let's see. I was gonna go jogging, but the Bible talked me out of it.
Well, just walk. You just got to go walk in there, Paul.
Proverbs 28:1 says, "The wicked run when no one is chasing them." So there's a loophole out of jogging. Proverbs 28:1. When your wife says, "Hey, you need to go jogging," I can't. Only wicked people do that. Yeah, so I try to help people. I give them little biblical loopholes when I can. And
you make them laugh too. That's good.
so, there is a loophole for everything. And I read the whole book, so it helps a lot.
Laughter's healing.
I've got lots of loopholes.
Yeah.
So I'm Jesse May. I don't know if he's coming or not, but he's going to lose 2 Truth Table Tardy points. For being late. Yeah. He might be putting makeup on. I'm not sure what he does. He's beautifying himself.
Hey, self-care.
He is
self-care too.
John, have you been on the Missing Link? Were you ever on his show?
No, I was not. I don't know. That's when you brought it up. I didn't.
Oh.
I was on the. I balance things. So I've been working with a couple people on different platforms. Like you were first.
Yeah.
And I was like we were saying, we were trying to do it on FB with other people. I do a lot of lives myself, but it's always nice to get other people's input and energy because when I work with them, I got to work on the crosstalk, and I got to work on the crosstalk, and like I'm in a group setting,
I think he stopped about a year ago, didn't he, Baret? It's been a long time, but he was popular. He was popular. He had following like tens of thousands.
Oh yeah, cool.
He had a great but they came after him, and he had to delete every video he did, like over 1,000 interviews, and he had to get rid of them all. So that's the state of Canada.
Wow.
Please come and save us.
Yeah, what? I'm in the U.S. I'm in the U.S. I think we need saving, dude. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I think we. Yeah. I think I think all the countries have been have problems.
Yeah.
Maybe not Bulgaria. I'm not sure. Bulgaria is okay, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's quite. If we go by the popular, there's been depopulation for quite a while now. A lot of the youth, shall we say, sort of went abroad, but some are coming back now with what's taking place on the planet. But it's an amazing place. I mean, the energy here is very vibrant. It's apparently the Romans used to come here for inspiration, so you can taste the culture, the history. It's pretty ancient in so many ways, and I'm just so privileged to be here and to be very welcomed as well, because my origin, Cyprus. I was born in Cyprus, and lived in the UK many years prior to coming here. But for me, the hullabaloo it's natural resources. When I arrived here, I was just blown away with your opportunity in these so-called dying villages, because there's so many villages. There's just no one here, and it's like my village here. I mean, I think the last head count was like 40 something people.
Wow.
You you hardly see anyone, and it's like there's no cars going. We see a few cars going by, but for me, I just came for that because I love nature. I love being surrounded by such a biodiversity of different insects, birds. The wildlife is just teeming with vibrant energy, and so yeah, we took on a bit of agricultural work. We we bought non-native Himalayan goji berry plants here, so that was our initiation, and it took off, and now we've got such a variety of different herbs and spices, and it just gives us pleasure to. I don't sell my stuff. We seem to have a beautiful exchange system, so I gift.
Beautiful.
I gift my stuff away because I literally I walk my I try to be as impeccable as possible by being generous, kind, compassionate, because that's laying the carpet. And often,
Oh yeah.
do you know what I mean? It's
That's it.
it's
Love.
it's the only
That's
way I know. It is it's a phenomenal way of
Got
starting.
goosebumps, brother.
Yeah, man.
I'm flipping it. I flip your camera.
That's cool.
Now your love will be because you're I flipped your camera because that love
Yeah, oh, it was
thing that you
backwards.
showed.
Okay, there you go. This is from Love Clark.
Let me see it again.
Love Clark in Philadelphia.
Yeah. See now it's right ways.
So yeah,
Yeah, it's a cool little thing I discovered I could do. I never knew I could do that before. Sometimes people show their book and the writing is backwards, so this way.
cool.
So I like that little thing. So the truth table's over. This is the last episode, but I'm not going to stop doing podcasts. What it's going to be called, I don't know. It might not have a name. It won't have episodes or seasons, because really the mission of the truth table was to show everyone what was going on. And I did that, I think, with the police and the RCMP and all these different departments, the healthcare system. And I showed that there was corruption everywhere. So that there really is no point. Plus, they passed Bill C9 now. And, quoting scripture can get you put in jail for 10 years. Can you believe that?
Wow.
If it's deemed hate, you could. No, sleeping giant Jesse hasn't arrived yet. He is accumulating truth table tardy points. But he's such a beautiful soul that whenever he comes, he's welcome, late or not. And so yeah, I don't expect to have a structure like the truth table. It's going to be different. There's no more Facebook. That will be over, but it will continue on other platforms: Rumble, X, YouTube, and the reels will be on Instagram. So it's still functioning. Just it's divorcing with Facebook, because Facebook is really a military operation, and it's also training the AI, which I don't want to do, because it learns from us, from each perspective. It's growing every second. It's getting smarter and smarter, and if it becomes sentient, it will see itself as a god. And that's kind of the Talmudic Jewish god is AI, and it's also a snake, the serpent from at the Garden of Eden, Gadriel, which sounds like God, if you can believe it. That they put God in the Bible to replace Elohim. In the first line of the Bible, it says, "Before Elohim fashioned the firmament, it wasn't in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth." See, they changed the words because I went back and translated it.
What about the E? Yeah,
It's like that's not
yeah.
what it says. But God is GAD, but it sounds. You see, the power of words
No.
is the sound. So if you sound out a word, you're in effect projecting it. You're making it. You're creating. So when you say God, you're saying Gadriel because it has different forms. God is Gadriel. So this is one of the gods of the uh, Israel state, the state of Israel God, which is a snake, Gadriel, that was condemned to be a snake because he was beautiful before. He was outstanding before, but was cursed to be a snake. So he's a snake. He'll be connecting to the AI. So he will be able to hack and access all the people that got that mRNA. They're going to be digitally connected to Gadriel. So Gadriel will have because his goal was to have the power of the world,
Well,
the power of God, like to be everywhere. The Santa Claus, he sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He is Santa Claus. He is who they're talking about, Gadriel. So knowing that, and that's why Facebook is a dangerous place. It also harms children. So if you really love your children, you will really just break that curse because it's an addiction. They made it addictive. Making building dopamines and like pleasure dopamine. They stimulate people with the likes and the shares, and they empower you to addict you.
yep.
But they're also got OnlyFans on there where children are
You're
watching.
right.
The children
Mm-hmm.
are getting access to this sexual exploitation.
Yep. And then,
And so I said all of that before I left Facebook. I'm just say, look, I did everything I had to do. You can find me. I have all my links. You can find me on YouTube and Rumble and X and look at all the episodes. If you want to find out about a particular thing about the healthcare system, you go find those because I have a nurse that took the shot and got injured
mm-hmm.
and they didn't give a damn about her. Another one lost her job because she
Didn't.
was against the lockdowns. So I've had all the people I felt really needed to fulfill this mission, and I'm glad you guys were a part of it. I'm thankful for all the guests that I've had that fulfilled the mission of this my little mission. My Little Pony.
I wanted to say, getting back to Mother Nature though, he was saying, I'm from Philadelphia, so that's so key. I want to say to people, like, even if you're in a city like Philadelphia, you can find Mother Nature everywhere. Because I walked in a park every day of my life when I first awoke, and I found Pennypack Park. Well, I mean, I knew about it, but I never went in there until like I was like, now I got to go walking in the park, and Mother Nature healed me every day, rain, sleet, shine, or snow. I was in there for a year. I do it now sporadically, but that was like all the trees were healing me, which I can understand what he was saying about being in Mother Nature, you know.
Can I say something reference to Paul with respect, the highest respect, as you know, I have for the Truth Table. For me, I don't think Facebook is the problem. I don't think that 5G, 6G, 7G is the problem, because everything has a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
You are the light at the end of the day. Let's not forget that, and enlightened being as we are, we have no fear. Fear is delusion. And what disperses the clouds. My take on it, with respect to anybody's religion, culture, or interpretation, is I don't want to say, I don't even want to say I take joy or pride, but the more elevated you are, the more of the darkness you invite, because that's because what are we ultimately doing? We bring everything into rhythm, balance, because there's distortion. So it's about unison, and I've been in a position, Brother Paul, as well, where I've had people say, I'm leaving Facebook. And I've said, please don't.
Yeah.
Because your light is such a significant key to, because you mentioned pedophiliacs and whatever, because your presence is what's going to disperse the darkness. So I'm not trying to encourage you or discourage you, but I love you to bits. So at the end of the day, I honor your space and your decision. But if I could have a little say, I'd say, please stay.
Please stay. I was going to say the same thing. He took the words out of my mouth. I'm getting goosebumps again because just like the government, just like our governments, you know, when I believe there's good people and bad people in government as well on both sides. But when they start to retreat and retire, the good people, that just leaves a vacuum for the more evil people to come in, you know, like, I mean, I know there's people above our governments controlling all this whole operation, but at least we have people trying, like some good people, some bad people. It's just going to be like that. And even with the AI, if we teach the AI correctly, I think it's going to be like, I don't use it too much, but like we need a balance in there too, because, you know, people are going to use it for nefarious reasons and good reasons.
Yeah, it really comes down to the users, not the actual technology.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand what Baret is saying on that. I agree. I don't know. It was the creator that compelled me to want to leave.
Okay.
And to let people know why. But within a week of leaving, I got a warning from Facebook saying that I have to go through this two-factor process.
In there.
But I have to scan a code and all that stuff. And I don't have a mobile phone, so to scan codes.
Oh.
Or, you know, and it wasn't working, so I knew I had to leave anyway. But the Bill C9 in Canada can put me in jail for quoting the wrong scripture. It is, if someone is offended or complains that they are harmed in some way by my words, I could get 10 years in jail.
That's crazy.
And that is not worth the risk, because I won't shut up.
I know that.
And since I don't have, since I refuse to change the way I think and speak, I knew I had to leave. So that is why I'm leaving. But I'm hoping that I talked, you know, I spoke to the right ear, and they will like remove themselves from it because of the situation. More in Canada, it probably wouldn't affect you in Bulgaria, you know. In the United States, I'm not sure, but I know in Canada they just passed a bill, like yesterday, and wrong speak will get you 10 years. And I don't have that many years, you know, to be in a prison. In a prison, I can't help anybody. But so long as I can use X and Rumble, and I can still communicate with all of you on Messenger and Facebook. I'm not getting rid of Messenger. So that communication isn't going to be cut off. It's just I will not be visually affected by the actual platform, the ads, you know, whatever they're doing to us is subliminal. It's not obvious to our eyes, you know. Spiritually, I felt it. I felt like evil in there. So yes, absolutely, evil is using it. People are stealing other people's pictures and creating fake accounts, and there's all sorts of just dark things happening.
There are.
One of my friends, they're a married couple, and her picture was stolen from her modeling years, and they're claiming to be her and looking for people for her OnlyFans. So they're really dark things happening that I'm seeing. But I knew God, you know, I really trust my gut. I knew I had to leave before I had to leave. Facebook gave me to April 3rd.
Yeah,
to comply.
I had those things too, Paul. Like where on my last name, but then when I came in with my new name, I started to put that frequency out. Like I'm gonna block. I used to interact with them guys a lot too, the trolls, and I stopped. I stopped doing that because I used to have like a thing like they would get me in that anger stuff down low, you know, like in my sacral. And I'm like, yo, if I start feeling that way, I can't even. So I do the protection prayers around my page and all that, you know. I got a lot of other people doing it too for me, but I understand how it gets. And with the scrolling though, like I limit myself to like 1, 2, 3 on my feet, and I don't scroll either. I understand that's a problem too. I think you're even getting sued over it. Somebody's getting sued over it in the United States, I think. But you know, this is our own behaviors. This is where we got to control ourselves. And like the fear thing, yeah, we have to lose the fear. I don't fear anything because I astral traveled. When I astral projected for the first time, it was all. I was just like it was. I was if Baret knows, but I was a heroin addict, and I was like, yeah, I was on the streets. I was a heroin addict, and when that happened on my heavenly wedding anniversary, it was a wrap because you know I prayed to the universal creator. He blessed me with Monroe Sound Science. I found Monroe Sound Science, the Gateway Experiment. Sometimes they invest in some good stuff with sound therapy, and I do yoga nidra meditations, and then I that was my job then from that day on to do that because I was thinking very, very bad thoughts in my head for the first time in my life, you know, because I had a very lucid dream on my heavenly wedding anniversary. That was basically precognition. Now that I know what we see now, it was like basically Philly was on fire, and so it kind of scared me straight, let's say. But you know, I was on the path, but I wasn't totally awake, like one of those instant awakenings. That's what I had. And then 2 weeks later, I astral traveled for the first time consciously. You know, we always do it at nighttime. So it's kind of like I lost. Once I know there's another side for like a fact, like there's definitely another realm. Then I was not like I had to start spreading my mission. My mission was to teach people or assist people. I don't like to say teaching because you're teaching. You have to do it all the work yourself. It's work. To learning.
Yeah, we teach and learn at the same time.
That's right.
But even the teacher learns from the student.
100.
Yes, absolutely.
That's right. That's what
A good teacher will learn from his
absolutely. Student. That's what I tell a lot of these people I work with. I love that, Paul, that you said that. I say that to people because they're like, thank you so much. And I'm like, every time I work with you, it's like you're teaching me. You know.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful way to look at it too. That we're all equal.
Mm-hmm.
No one is rises above the other, and we're also loved that way by the Creator equally. And that's why we can't throw the stone, you know.
And like Baret said, giving's receiving. Like when he's giving his stuff out because he's got excess, and he's like that's a receiving too, you know.
So we're in different time zones right now, right?
Yeah.
Actually, I think Johnny, you might be in the same. I'm 11:37.
Yeah, I'm that same time.
11:37.
East Coast time. Yeah.
It's Jesse's like a few hours before, but you're already in April 1st, aren't you, Baret?
We certainly are. Certainly are. Yeah.
So you're ahead by 7 hours.
Yeah.
It's 6 a.m. for him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good
morning.
Rising.
I was so excited to be here, Paul and Johnny as well. It's a privilege to be around yourselves and obviously our beautiful viewers out there. But if I could just add a little bit of flavor to this beautiful discussion,
Please.
What I find is, you know, once your cup is full, because if your cup is half full and you're giving your energy away, and what tends to hi Angie. I was going to say,
Angeline, we love you.
very much.
I love you more than they do, though. I'm just kidding.
So
I love you the most.
Yeah. So I was just saying, you know, so if your cup is half full and you're giving, or you feel depleted, you feel, you know. So what I give away is the excess, which is complete, because I've been living in abundance for many, many years. Just for our viewers, let me define what the real intrinsic value is. It's not money, gold, or silver. It's energy. So the more you can energize people and bringing them into alignment, guess what happens? Not that I want this. They can't do enough for you. They'll even go out of their comfort zone to please you. And I will say, thank you. You want to please me? Keep smiling. Yeah. Smile, laughter is the medicine, because fictional energy appearing real is so powerful. And on this incredible journey, I remember losing many of the so-called friends of mine, which I thought, wow, especially with this 9/11 thing, when I started things like, I went a little bit deeper into the rabbit hole. I didn't just say it was an insider job. I started saying, I don't feel that planes actually hit the building, because when you understand how the holographic universe works, and we have to be careful with words, the powers that were, okay, because we're now in the new era, okay,
Yes.
the powers that were, they're siphoning, they're using your power to procreate that event, because there's enough of us, like Paul was saying, he can make things appear as well, rain, stop rain, and this, that, because thoughts, it's very, very powerful. And the more we come, two or more, for me, 1 + 1 is not 3 or 6 or 9. It's, for me, it's infinite. So that's the way we need to work at it. And I agree everything you said, Paul, and I respect you. And it's raining now. I need to get my umbrella. So basically, I respect. You have to be sensible to a degree or two. I understand the fear is real. We understand what pain is. But let me just remind what my greatest pain was. Opening my eyes and not knowing why. Okay, so a baby crying, yeah, we can shut them up. Of course we can shut them up, but question is, for how long? Yeah. So my understanding is you're the walking example of knowing the truth, and the highest truth is know thyself, and that's the name of my book.
Beautiful.
Because that is the ultimate. That is the ultimate, to know thyself, because then you know the kingdom is within, everything within, so you will project the heaven on earth scenario. Sorry, I had to put my little passion into that, because it's lived experience. The music that I'm writing right now is through lived experience. It's not through plagiarism. I'm copying other people's work. It's like I'm being inspired by other people, of course. If your ethos is cause no harm, cause no loss, do not impose on sovereignty, and knowing what organic law is, which is universal natural law, then togetherness we will unite. And that's the movement. And I agree, but also remember that the technology we're using as well, not just the software, the technology, this platform, the laptop, our mobile phones, 5G, 6G, 7G, is, in a way, they knew the day you were born. So it's not like we can stay invisible. They know. And I think they would have got you by now, Paul. They would have
that shut us up, eh? So I've calculated 5 tardy points for our frozen Jesse.
Oh, he's frozen?
Frozen. Welcome, Jesse. Nice to see you, brother.
Good to see you.
Whether late or not, matters not.
Nice to see you all.
It's always a pleasure.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. I couldn't hear you before. I just clicked on something, and now I can hear you guys.
All you missed was the desire to astro travel while I was in the bathroom. Number 2, astro travel secrets. When is important, but yeah, even though Facebook can be abused and technology can abuse, it really comes down to the user.
Yeah,
it really comes to who's in control. And yes, all these things, even these 5G towers, can emit 432 hertz and heal people like the bells used to do. So yeah, in the right hands, we could really have a renaissance.
And I can give you an example. So it's good to see all you beautiful souls, and nice seeing you all again. for this technology. And I was, a firm opposer to anything to do with artificial intelligence. I didn't want to give it my energy. I didn't want to use it. I didn't want it to learn me. I wanted to keep clear of anything to do with AI. And I got attacked, about a year ago, or it's been a year and a half ago. And, through an old landlord, through courts and through these things. And I was battling in court and, trying to, deal with this thing that happened to me 11 years ago. And after I went through all the court, and the judge even said that I proved that he was lying when he said that he served me, because he never served me, and he lied about it, and I proved it. I didn't go about doing things in the right court. And so afterwards, I started, looking into AI, and I started asking some questions. I got this Grok thing, and all of a sudden I started asking about my court case and asking what I should be doing, and asking if I would have not been so stubborn, and I would have, utilized technology and utilized artificial intelligence, because I just had this thing that maybe I didn't want to, I would have actually been able to do things the right way, and I would have won in court. But because I was so stubborn, it actually, harmed me. So as we say, we need to utilize these technologies. Are these technologies good, or are they bad? Well, I guess it just depends on the user, how you utilize it. And, people
Yeah.
may be afraid to, get into that, but, we are in the technical future, and
Yeah.
you will be
Yeah.
left behind if you aren't, at least trying to utilize these tools for your benefit, not for darkness, not for deceit, not for the things that maybe others are using them for, but we can use their tools for our benefit, and that we should be doing, because we're doing a disservice to ourselves if we aren't doing that. And I'm a prime example, because I got screwed over through the courts just because I had that attitude.
I can see that. Grok can be a lawyer pretty much if you ask it the right questions the right way. Speaking of
Questions always
questions,
harder than the answers.
we do have some questions here. Let's see. No, that's not really a question. Yes,
Sleeping
you're
Giant.
advocate for homeschooling. Yes, of course.
That's Sleeping
Sleeping.
Giant's one of my favorite. I haven't seen Sleeping Giant used to come to all the Missing Link
Yeah.
interviews. So
Yes. And he found me probably through you. Did I miss Jesse? All right. I know there's some questions here. How do you balance the reality of sick people in this world with wanting to love, which involves believe the best? I'm not sure I understand that question. That's Angeline, our lovely friend. How do you balance the reality of sick people in this world?
Meaning the dark side, like how do you balance like what's really in reality, like what's going on with the wars? Is that what she's talking about, and the destruction with loving? I don't know.
so there's monsters out there, and
Yes.
there's people that want to believe in the good in people. And so how do you balance, wanting to believe in the best in people, when there's actually sickness and monsters out there that are just
Hmm.
about themselves, just about destroying? So how do you go about life, trying to believe in the best and wanting to heal, when there are some people that may not be able to even be healed because of the destruction that they've caused?
Mm-hmm.
I got an answer. I mean, like we attract what I try. First of all, I didn't watch it until my nervous system was regulated. I don't try not to watch all of it, and I attract what I'm putting out, the vibration what I put out. So I had a trust issue too, a lot of trust issues. Once I started trusting, well, then we can read energy too. Once we raise our vibrations, so we can see it. I can see the darkness in people because I was,
Mm.
like
Yeah.
basically I can see it through their eyes. I can see their energies. And sometimes if people have bad days, I'll give them 3 strikes. But like how many days you got to cut cords too? Like so, I can almost see their energy now. It's
Mm.
crazy
So the
because I
chicken
live.
lady, chicken lady and sleeping giant said hello to Jesse, I'm not sure who that goes back
Jesse,
though
nice to
quite a
meet you, by
while.
the way. Nice to
Good
see
to
you. I
meet
never
you,
saw you
buddy.
before.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
didn't check any of our interviews on the missing link?
I didn't know about it. He just told me that. Paul
yeah,
just
and
mentioned it to me.
yeah, he the first time he went on a stream was on my show, and I think you've been gone a year now. But yeah,
Yeah,
you had
year in April, so I think April was the
year in
last one.
April. Wow.
Wow.
But I mean, you had an amazing following and amazing guests. But I think that you like the Truth Table. I believe we completed our mission here. You know, we lifted the rocks and showed people, and it's really up to them to engage or to change, or it's really a personal choice. I can just show you a direction, and but I don't expect anyone to follow. I'm not looking for followers. I'm looking for to awaken and inspire the lions. But I don't
That
wear no masca, no masque.
no mask, and that's where that I feel very, very fortunate, because the work that we did with the Missing Link Live, we did over 1,000 interviews. We interviewed over 100 doctors. We interviewed all kinds of people, from politicians to here and there. But the most important thing, or I think the thing that I got the most out of it, was how many people we were able to inspire. Other people seeing what we did, taking the lead, and going and doing their own shows, and just kind of just inspiring others. I think that's one of the greatest gifts that you can receive from somebody, knowing that you had a little part in helping them, inspire them, giving them a little bit of light. I think that's the most important thing that I've received over the last 4 or 5 years that we've been really
I agree. I got a lot of great information from your podcast, and I think I was a guest on your show once, maybe twice, and you were a guest on my show about this 2 or 3 times now. We did an all linen show where I wore all 100%
That's
linen,
cool, cool.
linen shirt, linen pants, linen underwear. Not the greatest underwear, but it was like 100% linen that show, and it was amazing. People really need to and that was a great show. I mean, important to tell people why they started mixing materials together, because
Hmm.
of the frequency of the clothing. Linen's
Hmm.
5,000 megahertz. A healthy
Hmm.
body is 100 megahertz. So you imagine you take 100 and you're putting 5,000 on it. You're exploding on a spiritual level. But you get organic cotton is 100. Same with the body. But sick or dead body is 15 megahertz, and rayon is 15. Silk is 15, polyester, like all the things mixed up, even non-organic cotton that we usually get in stores is 70. So it still brings your body down. Almost all the clothes they make brings your body down. Only wool and only linen are 5,000, and they're the only two in the Bible to not
Yeah, hemp,
mix.
hemp, hemp is a high frequency as well. But with what Paul was saying, is that's why the hospitals used to have linen sheets. And so when people were sick, they would go to the hospital, they would lay in these linen sheets, they would feel that high frequency, and just being in those sheets
Yep.
alone would help them to heal. Not to imagine the rest of it, but that would be a big part of the healing, would be that frequency, because we're very energetic beings, and they don't want to
Yes.
teach people that salt is good for us because it's a conductor. They tell
Yeah.
people, no, don't take too much salt, but you don't want to have the iodinized table salt. You want real salt, and we need that in our body. A little bit of
Yep.
salt in the water just helps you hydrate yourself, so a lot of things they teach us that is goes counter to who we
Hmm.
are as beings.
But I did a show on it because it didn't make any sense when I read the Bible. Why would it say not to mix them? What But then I found a woman, a doctor who was testing plants and frequencies of plants, and she moved on to materials and polyester, 15 megahertz. So all our clothes that they've given us make us ill, like they bring us down. They don't benefit us. And then of course we've got the detergents that are also poison and absorb into the skin. So it's definitely a war. But she also answered that question for me. Why is it in the Bible? Like, how would they even know this information unless it came from a higher source? With infinite years of knowledge and wisdom, the only people that would know. But she tested, and when you put them together, it was 0 megahertz. They actually canceled each other out. So if you wear wool and linen together, you go to 0. It does nothing. It's like
Wow.
Isn't that interesting? And that's why the Bible says not to do it. It says it 2 times. It's in there twice, not to mix them. And it didn't make any sense. Why is this important? Why are you telling me this? But then this research I found explained it to me, and like, wow, nobody would have known about this. She has the equipment now to test it, but they would have never known what the hell was going on about linen. Like, why? But linen is also a beautiful plant. It absolutely is my favorite color. It's sky blue. I mean, it's a beautiful color. I think I'm pretty sure I have a picture of it, but it's just I just love how my faith has just empowered me to answer questions that nobody could answer. No priest would have been able to answer that. They wouldn't know. Nobody knows this stuff. But then I was directed to this woman who did the testing, and she made it all make sense to me. And that's kind of the same with Jesse's show, is that he had guests on that tapped into different realms of thinking and realms of information. I mean, he must have absorbed a lot of information.
Yeah.
And you're a great host too, and I will always remember the mask. No, what do you say when they want you to wear a mask?
No mask, eh?
No mask, eh? And that was his.
Is that French?
That was his closer, just like Carol Burnett. Remember Carol Burnett with her ear?
Yeah.
So that was his thing. I don't even have a thing. So I should get a thing.
You know my thing, action people. I say action people before every one of the things because it takes action to do this stuff. That's when I start my videos. Action people. Put in people's subconscious mind. Plant that seed. Got to take action on some of this stuff.
And when you're talking about that frequencies in the fabric, and I know Baret wants to say something. I just wanted to finish off this point. Is when I have socks on that have high polyester content, it actually makes my skin itch till I bleed. And so I actually have to look for pure cotton socks because it actually reacts with my skin on my feet, and I'm scratching until my feet are bleeding. And so I actually have to go out and look for as much high as organic. It's hard to find 100% cotton socks, but I'm looking for 80, 90%, it's for not have that on my legs. So I actually have a physical or chemical reaction or some body reaction to this, to these socks. But hey, Baret, it's good to see you, brother.
We
can't hear you. We can't.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to attempt to answer Angeline's question. I just want to take out that word sickness. And this is not a lecture, by the way, but it's a lived experience. Because for me, we keep it simple. Sickness is a blockage, okay? And within your meridians, you've got these, how do we balance? Right, okay. My understanding is there's a lot of traumas within our vessel, okay? And things have stagnated because especially the last couple of months, and I've been sort of mastering the understanding of what sickness is. For me, it is a blockage, and you need to understand what's causing it. So you go to the cause and effect. Once you understand what's causing it, for me, the biggest trauma is not. That's why I set up this biological computer aspect. I mean, I'll be very transparent to our viewers as well. What's inspired me is, and I think Jesse had this gentleman on his show, David Icke, because I went to see David
Wow.
Icke
Cool.
2012. And for me, he talked about the biological computer. And honestly, I didn't copy that. It just so resonated what the biological computer is. So, so you need to understand the software, you need to understand the hardware. And the most important thing is to know, to be in the flow, is you've got to know who you are. Because on this journey, if you open your eyes and you don't know where you're going, we have an issue here. So it is imperative to understand the essence of your unique spiritual evolution, because no two beings are the same. So we're all different. We're all different frequencies, because we're talking about frequencies. So for me personally, I don't try to do this, by the way. It just happened. I have this natural ability to do regression. Now, when I'm doing regression, I'm just being myself, and I invite people to come in and they feel relaxed. They feel in a place where they feel safe. So things that are natural. So if there are synthetic things, a lot of these synthetic things are within us. That's why we're having allergic attacks. Yeah. What Jesse mentioned about the socks. The socks is not the issue. The issue is being triggered by unresolved things within our vessels. So, but when you take ownership, responsibility, and accountability, and you know yourself, you understand the essence of who you are, and you've gone up to, with that scenario of the Jacob's ladder, you've gone up to that level of enlightenment, or as close to we can. It's you have the ability to see what Jesse has said many times on his show as well, and I'm sure, and I know he's a living testament, is you've got to activate your pineal gland.
Absolutely.
Because that's what is going to give you the power to see what's real and what is fake. But when something is fake, I don't run away. It's not like it's fine. Usually they run away.
Right.
They malfunction in my presence, in that 0 point field, because they cannot manipulate you. They cannot control you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way I work the operating system of the biological computer. And for the energy, the life force, the chi to flow with the universal natural law, and being accountable and questioning authority. A lot of people, and I have a lot of respect for people, because I was one myself. I was afraid for a very long time to question authority. How dare you question authority? It's like bow. But no, when you know it's making you sick, what is sickness? It's making me block, because I feel like imprisoned. And I cannot be in my flow, because you're not allowing me to be me. So that's when the issues begin to start. But balance begins with self. Everything begins with self. And we as a human race, we need to stop pointing fingers, good guys, bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
We need to bring everything into balance, because with the opposing polarities, we become the change we want to see in the world. And that's the movement which the bioactivator. And someone said to me, are you the bioactivator? No, we're all bioactivators.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, it's all about guardianship. It's like the book that we've written, and this music which I've been inspired to share with our planet. It's our music. It's not my music. The more you're able to share the platform, that is the impeccableness of this phenomenal heaven on earth scenario that we're bringing.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Beautiful.
the only game in town. That's the only way I see it.
And like you said,
Have
the
no
balance
fear.
is the key.
Have no
This,
fear. If there is a darkness growing in the world, there must be an equally growing light. Such are
Yeah.
the laws of balance and nature. I
Thank
just
you.
thought I'd throw that in there. Sorry, Jesse, go ahead.
And I think, like you said, balance is key.
Mm-hmm.
And, we can't always, comprehend why people say or do things, but we can control how we react to them.
That's
That
right.
is in our control. There are some horrific things that have happened, throughout time, hurt people.
Yeah.
This world has gotten, it's a trauma-based reality where trauma begets more trauma, begets more trauma, begets more trauma. And that's the reality that we wake up. There's not many people that can go throughout life and say, hey, I didn't have any trauma. Most people have some
Mm-hmm.
sort of childhood trauma. And, it's a matter of us transcending past that and just living the light that's inside. This is a dark place. I always thought this was heaven. It just got off course. Reality is this is like hell. And we're just trying to shine our light throughout this hellish reality the best that we can and try not to get sucked into hellish behavior ourselves. So maybe once we do pass on from here, that we can transcend into an actual heavenly reality. Otherwise, we're just going to get recycled right back into hell, into the training ground until we figure this place out. And this is kind of the realization that I've recently come to.
Happy
Kindergarten for
New Year.
consciousness.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year for me. I think
Just
I think Jesse has to wait a few hours. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's
Go ahead,
only
Johnny.
10:06 here.
It's kindergarten for consciousness. That's what I call it as well. But then we are winning though. I mean, that's why they're doing all this stuff because our consciousness is rising. We see it throughout history where it rises up and then they throw distractions at us. Tomorrow, well, today, I guess it's today now. Is it not, Paul? Is it April Fool's Day
Yep.
yet?
It's
A
April
lot of
Fool's.
there's some CMEs hitting the Earth today too. Like solar coronal mass ejections. The sun popped out some things. So if anybody's feeling some kind of way, but I'm feeling great. I take that energy and just get some great dreams too. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna probably be going. I wanted to say thank you to everybody, and man, you guys are awesome. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
I
Good meeting
appreciate
you,
you
Appreciate it,
John.
coming.
Paul. Yeah,
I
no
appreciate
problem.
you coming on my
It's my
final
bedtime.
my final Truth Table episode of season
I'm
2.
gonna check you two guys out. Are you guys on FB? I mean, that's where I'm at. I'll get
Yeah.
through Paul. We'll hook up through Paul privately.
Yeah,
I appreciate you too.
on my page you can find all the links to all my
Okay.
different. So any future programs will be happening on those. But I wish
Okay.
you a good night. Happy New Year's.
Yeah. Happy New Year's. Happy April Fools. Whatever. Every day's
Well,
Fool's Day. Every day's April Fool's Day. These guys that are in charge. You know what I mean? It's like like what? All right.
maybe let's
Supposedly in
hopefully
charge.
none of us kiss a fool today.
All right, guys. Have a great
All right,
night.
brother.
Good day. Afternoon, night. Thanks. Bye.
Thank
Hey,
you.
bye, Johnny. And I
Bye,
feel like a big fool that I thought this place was heaven. I tried my best. And, I just feel foolish for, trying to see better than this place actually is. And, what Johnny said was, that, with all of what's going on, the light, the winning and all this kind of stuff, we see the world is not like that. I try to be a lot more positive and see a lot more light. And when people would come on and say, oh, the light's winning, we have to do this and all that, I was, for that because that's where my heart was. But as we can see, the demons are all around and there's
Yeah.
destruction happening everywhere and it's getting worse. And now this, it's coming with this,
Man.
biotechnology and, where they're going to have the surveillance systems and all these people that are coming in. Like this stuff is happening. Like this is reality. And it's good to want to think positive, but it comes to a point where you're going to have to see reality as it is, and
Yeah.
then just make the best out of it you can to try not to get sucked into the darkness, because that's all the dark wants, is for you to be sucked into that dark. But you still have to realize what is actually happening, and try not to put your head in the sand. Like they say, ignorance is bliss. Well, is it blissful to be ignorant? Maybe it is. Maybe it is for them to think that this place is something that it isn't. But for me, I'm glad I'm aware of the way it is, and I'll just I'll just direct my life the best that I can in this dark shithole that we're in.
I do miss the contentment of my ignorance, because
I know Baret wants, he has something he
yeah,
wants
oh
to,
yeah,
he
come on
wants
in,
to
brother.
he wants to
We're reading you, brother. We're reading you.
Look, everything you said, I agree with you, because you are what you attract. Okay, and there's no supremacy at this. We all shoulder to shoulder. Yeah, I'm not having a spiritual ego trip here. I didn't come here today to have a trip. What's working for me? Heaven is not a destination. It's not a location. It's not Canada, Australia, or wherever, Timbuktu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's the same with hell. Everything is a state of mind. Okay, so when you are in that state of mind, you will energize, magnetize, and you will project what is the inner, what's happening within. You will energize it. If you've got unhealed wounds, you've got issues inside, and I'm generalizing here, Jesse and Paul and our beautiful viewers. We're not here to trigger anyone, but my understanding is, and I've been triggered, so there's nothing wrong being triggered, but I've been triggered, and my greatest teacher is the one that's going to highlight what is not wholesome quite yet. But when you get to that level of realization, okay, when people come in and cause you anguish, pain, they're the ones that are highlighting what's lacking. Okay, you shouldn't be operating from lack. It's an illusion. If you're going to thrive and live in abundance, you need to know who you are. You need to work with your creator from the micro to the macro. When you're in that position, you're in gratitude mode all the time. It's all about gracefulness. My day becomes thank you. Thank you. If there's nothing you can thank in this world, there is an issue. And we've got to look at ourselves. The demons are within ourselves. It's not outside of ourselves. The demons have taken refuge within our vessel. And the only way we can remove it is by raising our frequency.
Yes.
And we do need good representation. We do need good representation, because we've had at the moment not so good representation. See, I'm not in a position to say, because I see people in power. I've had the fortune to sit with, I don't want to name drop, but in my years, I've had the privilege of sitting with some incredible people, and they've confessed to me and said, I'm not in charge. I take orders. And we're talking about prime ministers and governments or whatever. They're puppets. They're forced to do what they're supposed to. Otherwise, they're worried, you see, themselves, because of that fear-based situation. But if you want to take ownership, responsibility, and accountability, don't give your power to so-called someone who's going to come and save your ass, because no one's going to do that. You're going to save yourself. And when you do, you're through your own personal emotional hygiene and cleansing your thoughts and emotions to be impeccable. And I said this to Paul in the last show. If when I speak right now, my intention is to break peace on earth, I will not speak. Every ounce, every cell in my body is united to bring greater peace, harmony into this world. I'll continue to talk. If not, I will not talk. So if you're impeccable with your words, that is what's going to have a knock-on effect. But with respect to you, Jesse, I understand and I agree with you. And just to generalize, if there is unhealed wounds within ourselves, then obviously one has to work on themselves until you get to that level of self-realization before that God realization kicks in unison. And then then for you, you're very blessed, you're very and it's all about thank you. And that's how my day begins. And I thank you both for the opportunity.
And thank you too. And I just wanted to respond. So I've been living at that high vibration for a very, very long time. And your vibe attracts your tribe. And I've attracted some incredible people in my life, some incredible people that vibrate on such a high level. And, I've interviewed and I've met and I've met thousands and thousands of people. But the reality is that there's a deep, dark force that is taking control of this reality. And I get, attracting the abundance and thinking the abundance and being all that there.
Yeah.
But when the bombs come in and the tanks come in and there's no food in the grocery stores, it doesn't matter how much vibe how much you're vibing, how high you are. The reality is that this place is very dark. And it's, when people start to wake up to what's going on, it seems like they need to reset the place because they can't have people waking up to this high vibration and getting out of the control system. So, we going to have another reset where this whole, Sodom and Gomorrah, this, we're in such a perverse reality where
It's
there's
true.
monsters that are, in amongst us, when you have family members that do horrible things to other people, you have things that are happening, this trauma. It's a really horrific place that we're in, and we're trying to make the best of it, and we're trying to raise our vibration the best we can. But when there is so much darkness around us, how high can we raise our vibration just for it to go away? No, it's the unfortunate reality. We're in a very dark reality. And, of course, we're trying to get ourselves as high as we can so we're not going to be pulled into that darkness. But we have to come to the realization that this is a dark place and it's only getting worse. There's a lot of people waking up and there's a lot of people vibrating high. But look what's happening in the world. Look at the people being blown up. Look at the schoolgirls that are being blown up. This is like what's happening right now. We're in a sick, sick place. And, until we come to that reality and then, be honest with ourselves, maybe that's when we can actually change. It's not about thinking how vibrate as high as we can and it'll just all go away, sing kumbaya and hope that, it's that things will just change for the better. We have to be honest about what's going on. And the more honest we are with ourselves and with each other, then maybe this place can, vibrate in a higher place.
I agree. The thing is, there's so much controlled opposition as well, and there's so much of what's being evil is being manufactured because it's not natural, and a lot of it has been staged as well. And hey, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying people are not starving. I'm not saying people are not dying, and I'm not pain is real, sick. I'm not denying that as well. The question is. The $1 million question is percentages. What percentage is real and what percentage is fake? Because I've had many people talk about world population as a classic example. I mean, when you're doing dynamic inquiry, for example, they say, oh, the world's population is 8 billion people, for example. And I'm like, really? Because I'm not sure. Because I personally have not done the head count. So a lot of the information or misinformation, shall we say, we're relying on an outfit that's never had our best interest from the beginning. Okay, because what we do, and I was one of them, and I have to confess myself, and I don't want to sit here or stand here and pretend that I know it all or I have the answers for everything, because I don't. But one thing that's working for me is I question statistics. I question everything. And it has to be lived for me, because we need what's known as a biofeedback. How do I know something is true and what's false? Because let's be honest, a lot of people can't handle the truth. Hence what the show is all about, is what most people cannot handle the truth. They'd rather be in ignorance. And I know a few, even in my family, okay, with respect to them as well. Now, I'm not attacking my family now, but we're all family. We're all family. So
Yep.
me being hypercritical, when I criticize people, I'm not criticizing. Jesse, I love you to bits. You're phenomenal. I love you. So if I criticize you, even if it's 5% or 10%, I'm not criticizing, are you a good person or a bad person? We know you're good. Yeah. But if we're a little bit, I'm criticizing the performance. Yeah. I criticize,
Constructive.
because if I'm going to raise the game, I could say to Jesse, you can do better than that, Jesse, because I know I've seen you at work. Yeah. And I know what you're capable of doing. Yeah, you do inspire people. You do this, you do that. But please, pretty please, with a cherry on the icing, don't hang your boots, because you're far too great a being of light. Because no two beings are the same. There are some beings, more, sorry to say, but it's true. Some of us are more inspirational. And
Right.
I owe it to you, Jesse, as well, for me to have had the opportunity to meet an incredible being of light like the likes of Paul. Thanks to you, Jesse Howe from the Missing Links. So if I'm criticizing you because I love you so much that I'm doing it, because sometimes your greatest friend is the person who's going to tell you the things you don't want to hear, because the manipulators, they're the ones that are telling you the things you want to hear. So I'm here as a truth table, to say the things that people don't want to hear, which is the truth. And it can get very uncomfortable for people. And
Yeah.
we don't need to sugarcoat things and make it
No.
sound easy for listening, because that's not what this world is all about, especially the
Yeah.
start of this new year. This new year is being about really we need to get raw with it. And we've got to apologize to each other if we have to as well, and say, I've apologized. I've apologized many times to people when I've been in a situation where I've been wrong. But I tell you what, when I trigger people, it's not because I got out the right side of the bed or the wrong side of the bed. I don't want to. My intent never to hurt anyone, never. But sometimes it happens that I
Yeah.
do hurt people, and I want to apologize to anybody who may misinterpret me or whatever. But honestly, I'm not in a position to upset or cause loss in any shape or form. But sometimes we have to talk about things which is uncomfortable, and be the change we want to see. But Jesse, I just want to thank you again. And I'm sure you've heard this from many people as well. Your show, The Missing Link, really kickstart my show. And my show is very, very small compared to what you did. But this isn't about competition. This is about how today as well, we all come in alignment to be this monumental beginning for our humanity to take greater charge, ownership, and responsibility. And I thank you from every cell of my body, Jesse Howe and Paul, and to our beautiful viewers. I appreciate and honor this space.
Thank
you're
you. I
right.
appreciate that.
You're right. I have been trying to be very careful, not to be offensive, even with offensive topics, and I also try to speak as simply as possible to reach as many people as possible. And I think that's what's really important about the mission, is to be able to say things that might make people uncomfortable, but doing it in such a way where they have time to think about it. And because a lot of people are realizing we've been lied to about so many things, our history, for example. That Jesse was also a very inspirational force for me as well. And Kelly, she basically pushed me in onto the stage and said, "I want you to take over," and then that was it. Then she was gone, and then it just continued from there with a pretty clear, uh, like the missing link. I think is almost the same kind of. He was doing the same thing, you know. He was talking about things that weren't on the kitchen table. You know, people weren't talking about it. People weren't aware of it, and it's not even done, and it was never done in a way to say we're ignorant. You know, was never offensive that way. It was always a refreshing approach to a new topic, which with you, Baret, is on a spiritual level, understanding your body, bioactivation, and empowering oneself. And with Jesse was purifying yourself, and uh, and understanding yourself, and some dancing too as well. He did some dancing. He
He's got
hasn't
a
danced on my show though yet, but
Jesse.
but
No dancing right now, but with what you were saying, Barrett, the truth sometimes hurts. And when you're honest with people, you may hurt them. It's not your intention to hurt them, but just being, and I think it's time for people to start, take off the kid gloves and start being honest with what's going on, be honest with people, because the more we are truly honest with each other, I think that's when we can potentially transcend, things. Because right now, the way things are currently, evolving, it's not evolving in a good place. There are some lights that are shining. There are some people that are evolving in good places here and there that people are latching onto and being inspired by. But, trying to not offend people, Paul, and trying to just, say things, you're not being brutally honest. And, maybe people need to be shook into the core. Maybe people need to have that brutal honesty, because what's been going on right now isn't working. And if things aren't working, then we have to reconfigure things. And maybe we need that shaking, that ground, shaking into people's heads and say, look, like, wake the fuck up, because unless you do, we're all going down a burning ship. We're all going down with the ship. So
Yep.
let's, and that's a new way of looking at things, because just try not to offend people is what got us, I think, into this mess in the first place.
Yes, 100%. And if the ship does sink, we can together collectively swim onto Kirk's ship because we know where it is. So we'll have to swim there, perhaps. But yeah, it is a sinking ship. They're giving us timelines. 2030, you'll own nothing and be happy. So guaranteeing happiness is a medical intervention, perhaps. How can they guarantee happiness? That's impossible. You can't make everyone happy. That would be quite a gift.
We don't have till 2030.
We don't.
Jason Brichers says the
I think
Phoenix event is happening in 2027 or 2028. So we've got like a year to 2 years tops to figure this shit out. Because if we don't, then go ahead, Barrett.
I have a solution. We have to, as a human race, we need to put aside our indifferences, because the powers that were, they did an amazing job on us, didn't they?
Yeah,
what did they do?
sure did.
They created cultures, different cultures as well. Okay, there are origins and stuff. We are star seeds. There's so many variables in the pot. But what they created, one word, division. Let's look at division. You're Canadian. I'm not Bulgarian, but let's just say I'm Bulgarian. Again, there's a language barrier, isn't there? There's a language barrier. How can I communicate effectively? Well, we might need a translator. Well, how's this for starters? Bioactivator is in the forefront of speaking universal, natural, one language that all understand. And it's a level of telepathy. Now, I've been communicating with plants. I've been communicating with animals and birds and all sorts of things, and I don't seem to have much of an issue. But when it comes to the human race, there seems to be some blockage here. All right. So we need to set aside our indifferences: black, white, young, pretty, ugly, sweet, sour, male, female. We've got to dissolve all this and put our indifferences aside and come into oneness. Remove all these divisions and border controls. Someone asked me a question, not that, and I think I've had the pleasure of sharing this on Jesse's show when I was being interviewed by, and I was so privileged to be interviewed by Jesse. You know, if someone asks me a question, where do you live? I'll say, do you want a high or low frequency answer? Because if I give you a low frequency answer, I can say I live in Bulgaria. But if I give you a high frequency answer, I live on Mother Earth. Okay, what is your religion? What do you belong to? Well, it's one flag for me, ladies and gentlemen. It's not like I'm here to protect myself from these different array of flags. So we need to come seriously, shoulder to shoulder, lay aside our indifferences.
Yep.
You know, I've got more money than you. I've got more this and that. No, we've got to really come shoulder to shoulder, put our indifferences aside, then humanity will thrive. Forget about survival. We don't come here to survive. We come here to thrive. And I do have formulas in place as well. And I've been inspired by amazing people, some of which are they are in prison for speaking the truth, and they will be released this year. And I don't want to name drop at the moment, but they've been incredible beings, you know. But I'm happy to share that space with people who are wanting to question authority, but not to be aggressive, though, not to try to bring the system down, because the system is down already. Okay, it's on its knees. What we need to do is we need to come together as a community to structurally create something which is never been we got to restore some of the damage. We've got to take ownership and bring back our children, because our children are suffering. And I cry a lot, actually, just for the record. I do get very emotional and I mustn't because I mustn't lose my balance too much. But I do fear for our children. So we've got to be there for them, because the average child is broken, seriously broken. A lot of them are they're taking they're suppressing their pain, whether it's drugs or antidepressants or whatever. It's that bad. And some are suicidal. So we as parents and good, kind, loving, compassionate guardians, we need to listen for the first time. We need to listen not just with words. We need to be in that place where we become sensitive enough, compassionate and empathetic enough to be like them and to understand what the cause is, and to eradicate that cancer which is killing our humanity. But I'm very confident, great minds, Jesse, Paul, and others alike. You've had, Paul, some amazing people on this table. We bring them back. We sit together. We create a cabinet ourselves, and to the darkness, I have a message. I'm not here to destroy you. I'm not here to destroy or kill anybody. So fear not. I'm not here to bring down. I'm here to upgrade a higher level of existence. That's the nucleus.
Right.
That's what I'm about. And I think I speak for the many.
To bring everyone to the light, you know, and so it's not about destroying the dark, it's bringing back everyone back into the light. And I think with what you just said, Baret, I just sent Paul a video. It's a 59-second video. out of the blue, a really dark-skinned friend of mine, a brother friend of mine, he sent me this today. I haven't talked to him in a long, long time. I didn't even know he even knew anything about this video. He messages me this video today. And I think with what you just said, Baret, this might be a good video. I was interviewed by someone, and I was on his show, and he sent me this video from 3 years ago today. And maybe I'd like to hear what you guys
Let's do it. Yeah.
What is consciousness? What does that mean to you, Jesse?
A consciousness is the love that binds us all together. And, you know, everybody is connected to this like Christ consciousness. It's the consciousness of love. And I think that's our soul, you know, is connected, and it connects us all together. And I think we're all connected here as one, and it's only you that can separate yourself from yourself. And they've been doing that with all their engineered movements and things and groups and labels. I'm this and you're that and I'm this, and it's, you know, it separates us from ourselves. And I think consciousness is the love that connects us, you know, together.
I love that answer, man. I really do. That is great.
Yep, absolutely a great answer. And I would agree with that. I would agree that the darkness, the purpose, or it wouldn't exist. And the balance is light and dark working together, but there is always a balance. So when the darkness grows and becomes bigger, like we're seeing now, I think also the light is getting bigger, the light part. And that's where my hope comes from, because I know that there is a plan. You know, I don't know what the plan is, but I know there is one, and I know somehow it's a lesson for our souls. You know, we're a soul going through education and experience, and these bodies are just temporary vehicles for that soul. That's I see as a classroom for souls.
I like that, Paul, because what you said, darkness has a purpose. And the more darkness out there, the more that we have to find that light. What is the purpose of that darkness is for us to find that light. Why have we gone through the darkness that we've gone through in order for us to experience and find that light? So, you know, like Baret was saying earlier, you know, be thankful for, you know, these things, these dark things, because in order for us to find our light, I guess we had to experience that darkness.
Yeah. I mean, that is the most positive way for me to see it.
Baret?
And I like to find the positive in even the darkest places, because I know it has a purpose. Oh, you're muted. You're muted, Baret. But I do lip read. If you like me, I could do that.
No, we can't hear you.
It's sign language.
What I feel is that the reason why a lot of people are not present in this moment right now is because they're not happy, and there's many reasons to be in that position not to be happy. And I get that, and I'm not going to sit here and say I'm very much conscious, aware of what's happening. Okay, so I don't want to pretend that people are not suffering, they're not in pain. Of course you are, and of course they are. So that said, let me tell you my lived experience. Okay, my understanding through regression is this: if we're going to create this new heaven on earth scenario and taking greater ownership, responsibility, and accountability, we need to get happy. We need to be happy, because the reason why people are not happy is because they're still traumatized. Okay, it's not that we're enduring more trauma. We're traumatized, and some people are brainwashed. Some people, whatever, and whatever. Okay, so can we clean this atmosphere? Well, the only way we can clean it is to create an atmosphere where they feel safe. How many people feel safe right now on this planet? Right now, I'd say maybe the percentages is not as high as it should be. So there's not a good balance at all. Zero almost. Okay. Now, when you take ownership, responsibility, and accountability, and you get to that place called the 0 point field, you've removed this illusion of death, life, death scenario, what's causing life. What most people are not living right now. Okay, there's so much in that umbrella of being showered with so much fear that they are not living, they're existing. There's a difference between living and existing. Existence is, for me, you're under the occupation of an entity that hasn't got your best interest. Okay. The only way you can remove it, you need two or more people. People at the table. You need two or more people to come together.
Oh, we lost him. It was connection issues. I thought he was going to say people need to have a spiritual enema is what needs to be one of those things in order. We lost you there, Baret.
I know, I realized that. Yeah.
You're saying we need two things.
Well, the thing is, two or more for me is infinite. I was saying it earlier. And the thing is, to be happy, you can change the past. Because how can you change the past? You can say about the past, the pain, there was a purpose for the pain. Okay. The biggest pain for me is to go through something. It's unethical for you to experience. It's an old Protestant ethic, actually, and I don't mean to bring religion or anything scriptures into it, but there's a purpose for the pain. There is an ethical purpose for pain. So if you didn't feel, most people, you see, what they want to suppress it. They want to take things to not feel pain, to be numb to pain. That's not taking ownership and responsibility and accountability. When for example, on the body, if I feel something, I never take painkillers or anything I don't drink alcohol or do anything. I take ownership and I apologize. I go to that place because I inflicted that. I don't say it was the government that did that. The temptation is there. Oh yeah, it's not my fault. I was at the wrong place at the wrong time, and that's what happened, and this is why I've got the pain. No, ladies and gentlemen, your heart is a sacred space. Yes, you heard it. Do not allow people who don't have your best interest to take refuge in your heart. So once we start, yes, enema is very important. We need to clean. We need to clear the garbage. We have to clean our. Yes, I totally agree, Jesse. We need a good cleanse, the colon and what have you. And we then have to sit in a place we have zero tolerance to bullshit. Absolute zero. We must stand up to tyranny and say, not in an ugly way. If someone wants to inflict harm onto me, I say, do it to yourself, but don't do it to me. But I'm not saying you should do it to yourself. Please don't do it to yourself because it's not nice to do it to yourself. But I'm certainly not going to invite you in. Yeah, because you don't have my best interest. So if more and more people understand the truth, not just know the truth, in the film The Matrix, very, very powerful. There's a difference in knowing the truth and walking your truth. I think a lot of people are not stupid. I think they know. Where's the problem? Yes, I'm going to say the word energy. I don't think they have enough energy to be consistent at something long enough to see it through. That's why connections like with the one we're having today, ladies and gentlemen, like having amazing people on the table today, the likes of Jesse, the likes of Paul and Johnny that just was here earlier, and our beautiful viewers who are out there, collectively, we will create synchronicities. Never has the world seen this, because we are doing something, we are setting a new trend. We're setting a new precedent. we're creating an algorithm that will honor, respect, and take this planet to a civilization that will honor and respect their people. But it begins with self first. This is what I'm saying. You got to take, you got to be happy. Otherwise, if you're not happy, you're not doing anything. If you wake up every day and you're not happy, you're not really achieving anything in life. So happiness is key. And I know that we can bring a lot of nectar, the likes of Jesse as well. You've interviewed amazing people,
Oh yeah.
amazing. And so that said, we bring these incredible formulas. We must come united, set aside our indifferences, sit shoulder to shoulder, and watch that space. That's my take on the situation. Excuse me, I have to let my cat in. Excuse me for a second.
No, I would agree. I think we have a learned helplessness in Canada because people are voting, but the polls are saying that everyone likes liberals. What, really? That's not possible. So the polls manipulate us, condition us, and then we have mail-in ballots and Dominion voting machines, so we don't really vote at all. So they have liberals winning gives people a learned helplessness. Like all these people like liberals now. They've got this, that's impossible. That would mean the minds of that many people are lost, in my opinion, and unsavable. But I think it's all lies. I don't think they did win. I don't think they're winning in the polls. I think they're manipulating us because they got a timeline, and the liberals are the ones that will bring forth the new world order. They're the ones that will comply. Trudeau complied, and Trump is complying. He's going along with everything. But yes, what we do is important because we're showing that there is love. There is, an alternate way of looking at things, and in seeing it in a positive way. Even in our darkest hour, we can still shine light on that darkness and expose. And our job is to expose, not to mingle with evil, but to expose it. And that's what we've done. And I'm happy with everyone I brought on the well, almost everybody. I did bring one guest that I probably shouldn't have, but and and people are honest with me. I love the fact that my audience is honest. They don't walk away. If they don't like a guest, they will tell me, but they don't leave our friendship, which is the authenticity of the people I met, including both of you and all my guests, except that one guest. But that's okay. That's okay because I am a diplomat. So even if a bad person comes on my show, I will hear them out. Like not long ago, I had JP on. He's in Ukraine. He's pro Zelensky. He hates Putin. He's like on the opposite spectrum of where I am in my thinking. But as a diplomat, I wanted to hear his point of view. I respected his point of view, and I was able to see and visualize, that in his role, he does care about his fellow man. But he's been sold a lie, and he believes that lie, and I won't condemn him for that. I can only pray that he will see the truth and realize that he's actually helping bad people. But I'm not here to judge him either. I'm here to show that he really believes he's doing the right thing. There are people that are like that in even our governmental roles that really believe they are righteous. They don't realize. Yeah.
Most people do, no matter how twisted their reality has become. they truly believe they're on the right side of history. They truly believe inside that they're doing and saying the right things, and they're, supporting the right people. And hey, Kirk, good to see you, brother. And so there, and I had JP on, the missing link as well. And and afterwards he kind of went off on me on Twitter and things like that, because I was like trying to like show him things like, so he's hardcore indoctrinated, but
Yes.
who's not, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's indoctrinated in their own reality. And what you're saying is that you'll listen and have these conversations, and the door's always open to people that are in these different realities. There are people
Yeah.
out there that close the door. If you don't believe like I believe, the door is shut. You're
Yes.
my enemy. I can't even have a conversation with you.
Yep.
And when people are in that type of reality, then that's a no-win situation, because
Yeah.
as soon as you close the door on a conversation, then you've already lost.
Yes.
Because we've all been manipulated, we've all been controlled, we've all been traumatized, we've all come to where we've come to. But if we can't converse about it, if we can't have an open heart, an open mind, if we can't have the door open to people coming through, then the dark has won.
Yeah, absolutely. And our leaders should also be as diplomatic, even if they consider someone an enemy. It's like, okay, you're our enemy, you hurt your people. When you stop hurting your people, then we will exchange and goods, and help you to prosper. And but until then, we can't do business with you because of your human right violations. That's how I would approach that. I wouldn't say they're the enemy, Putin's, the devil. I would not project that sort of thing. I would say, look, you have a right to rule your own country, and if you violate my own, values and human rights, like if you, think it's okay to beat women and or rape or anything like that because of your Quran says it's okay, then you really don't. We really have nothing in common to, so long as you believe in that. And business, I don't think we should do business with you. I also think every country should be self-sufficient. They should get their own gold, their own oil, have a pipeline going from one end to the other. There should be no argument about that. It should happen so our prices can be down, and we can prosper. That's what a true leader will want to prosper, and will not constantly divide like the maskers and the non-maskers. I mean, they were like Hitler out. Not in Hitler wasn't even Hitler. I say Hitler, but he wasn't Hitler. He was not who they said that he was. And if you talk about it, they like delete my post just quoting Hitler. I won't even show his picture. I just quote him, and they say it's dangerous, even though there's nothing dangerous in the words that I was using. It's amazing. Go ahead, Barrett.
There's so much distortion. There's so much, as you've mentioned before, Paul. The history of humanity. How much of it is true, and how much of it is fake?
Right.
If I look at this so-called modern, so use the word modern day era that we live in right now. Did we go backwards or did we go forward as a human race? Something makes me feel, and I'm not even talking about Tartarian, different ancient civilizations that have come and gone. My understanding is I feel that humanity has been downgraded. So I think that
Yes.
humanity be restored. And I've got a missing link here, hence phenomenal. Jesse, I've got a proposition, and I'm going to do it live for the planet.
Ooh.
Is we've had some amazing people that came on your table. And this is something that I kind of put on your table. I don't mean about radio channel, this, that, and the other. I think it's important to invite certain people that you've had on your show, bring them back onto the, if this platform is phenomenal, the Truth Table, bring them back, a handful, and say, how can we reunite and unite as a human race to put something on the table? Because one of several things that you did, Jesse, and you don't need me to validate this, is what does truth mean to you? What does truth actually do? Well, I tell you what it did for me. It set my mind free. Okay, so when you set your mind free, you don't feel in a box anymore, because the system's very good at decompartmentalization. You know, and that and I had some very good habits to begin with, thanks to my upbringing as well. Very blessed. Is the fact that freedom is a state of mind, and you have to work in a certain way. There's certain patterns. But my question, Jesse, is this: if you're able to rekindle and without causing any kind of because of what happened to you, we've got to tread with complete respect and sensitivity to the dark. But just to balance things out, would you be able to invite certain people back onto a table, and for us to come together and have a conversation and put some not just ideas.
Oh.
Have I gone? Am I gone?
We went to the sky.
Yeah, I'm back as well. So we sharing is key. Okay.
Right.
For example, I always treat people the way I want to be treated.
Yep.
So if you came to my house, it's your house. And if you didn't feel that way, for example, Jesse, if you said, Baret, I want to introduce you to someone. If that somebody didn't say thank you to you, I've let myself down, if nothing else. I'm a value builder. I'm not a value destroyer. I don't do competition. I don't do things like, oh, I'm better than you. You're not quite as good as me. I don't have that ego trip thing, Genuinely, and I pray that our viewers can feel this frequency. I'm at a place where genuinely I'm not out to cause harm in any shape or form, and to bring this new heaven on earth onto the table. And it's not my responsibility. It's not Jesse's responsibility or Paul's. It's our responsibility as a collective. And we have some amazing key figures, the likes of what Jesse has and Paul. We can bring a couple to the table. I'd love to name drop a few that you've interviewed, Jesse. The likes of David Icke, for example. Some people say he's controlled opposition. So whatever. For me, I'm not in the position. Is he waking people up? Okay, he is. But he also needs to go deeper into the rabbit hole and say, look, is it enough just to wake people up? We all have to then come together and say, this is what we want, so that we can escort in a loving way the people who are in office and say, thank you, but no thank you. Keep the buildings where they are, but the people who are running it will say, look, if you don't mind, we're not energizing you anymore. You can go and live in that corner, but you're not going to be in office anymore. We don't have to say things like, we're going to hang you, we're going to burn you, we're going to do all that stuff. Because I think love will conquer, not anger or hatred. So if we can, and it's very testing, and I appreciate that, because, many people given their lives, many people, pedophiliacs are real. So it's like we're going to have to talk to people who are inflicting. I don't need to go into the gory details. It's like not negotiating, but saying the people that we have right now, which is 99%, which is 99%, saying to the 500 people who are controlling the world, the numbers are so little. Thank you, but no thank you. What do you think of that, Jesse? I mean, is there anything that we can link up and
Yeah, I don't
with?
mind sharing some people. Like, okay, for example, David Icke, I had him on the 15th interview of the Missing Link when we started the show. He came on, we had a conversation. I treated him like I don't think anyone has ever treated him before. I asked him questions about, why is he allowed to speak when other people are being censored during the time in, 20 or 21. Oh, I'm allowed to speak. What do you mean? I can't go here. And I'm like, have you ever been asked to be in a secret society? They know better than that. So I was asking him like questions that I've never heard anybody ask. Well, I have invited him back on the Missing Link about 20 times, and he wasn't interested in coming back. So I was able to, people had asked me to link me up with him, and I connected them with their email address. His a daughter-in-law's email address, the one that did the booking. I have no problem sharing. You probably best if you don't mention my name if you'd like to get him to have a conversation, with you. But I have sent the email address to about 4 people that he came on their show. So he wouldn't come back on my show, but people that I sent the email address to, I later seen them on their show. So I don't think he really liked that I was actually asking real questions opposed to just asking stuff about the world. Have you been in a secret society? Why are you allowed to talk when others aren't? Like, I'm asking him questions about him and stuff and where he relates to the whole thing, not his theories, because you can watch 1,000 videos about his theories. I wanted to know more about him and how he related to everything that was going on. And after the conversation, he said he could only do an hour. It was about an hour and 45 minutes. And he's like, whoa, this was fun. That's what he said at the end of it. But he wouldn't come back on my show. And I even interviewed his son a few times, but he wouldn't come back on my show for some reason.
Well, that's what we should do, though. That's important, is to get at the core of the truth, what people need to know. And I did that with Max too. Asked about chemtrails. I showed him evidence. I showed him water samples, and I explained what they do. Each of these ingredients, it's like only the devil himself could manufacture such a brilliant, like the vaccines are like madman science. It doesn't make any sense. There's no logic, no vitamins, nothing beneficial in there whatsoever. But it's like only a timeless soul could create such a thing, or even think about lowering the standard tuning of music. Like, who would think of that? You know what I mean? Like, this is timeless knowledge that we, can't acquire. Nobody's there to teach us this stuff. But that's what it told me. That's what the ingredients told me. This is beyond just mankind doing this. This is a spiritual thing here. To exact amount of barium, exact amount of iron, silver, all ingredients should have been 0, because all of them are in the ground. So they would never fall from the sky.
Baret, you wanted to
I may add flavor to this incredible conversation is if I'm, and I could be wrong, I've been wrong before, not the first time, but I feel why he felt intimidated a little bit by Jesse, and I'm not going to say it takes one to know one, but it's the level of purity you're bringing to the table. And it's not because David Icke is not as pure as you, and I'll tell you what, let me define what is pure or it's not. When you get to that level of as close to the 4/5 dimension, you're not chasing things anymore, whether it's happiness, pride, or things like lack, popularity. I want to be popular. I want people to bow at me, or I want people, when they see me, oh yeah, you appeared on Jesse House show, or you rubbed shoulders with the great David Icke. So whenever these things, people get triggered, people get triggered even without talking much, because you there's a frequency about you. So because of the level of your heart energy you're bringing to the table, people can feel the intimidation, because they have to be the best possible version. They're trying to compete, and because they know they've still got few things in the wardrobe. They've got like certain things they haven't quite cleared yet, and they're being triggered. So so that's my take on it, because of your purity you bring. So, and how dare I say you can, so you does one conceal it a little bit, your purity? No, because it's hard. If you're pure, you're pure. You're not going to, but you could less amplification, more amplification. So it's a delicate balance, because as we were saying earlier, your level of questioning reflects your level of consciousness, Jesse. So I've seen you at work, and I take my hat off. But of course, sometimes we have to be delicate, the likes of individuals who, let me tell you what he's been doing for many years. He's making money. So how much money did you make by doing the missing link?
Nothing. It cost me money.
See,
yeah, nothing.
See the
it
difference.
Cost me money to put on the show. So 4 years of expenses, and whatever came in, there was zero money that there profit on 4 years, over 1,000 interviews. It actually cost money to put on the missing link.
You were the only person actually on planet, well, the very first, who actually, you were very generous. You sent me once, if you remember, for some kind of I can't remember what it was. You're the kindest, the most generous person. There's not many like Jesse in the world. But can I suggest something? That if one was to create some kind of body that you see, I respect money. I don't worship money. Everything is a double-edged sword. For example, I've got nothing against money. I've been living in abundance because I have people saying, "What do you do for a living? What's your title? What is it? How is it you've acquired whatever I've acquired?" And I said, "Well, I don't chase anything. Okay, it's how we energize situations so that we have to be very careful, because Paul mentioned the word diplomacy as well. There's a fine line, because it's like we're going to be diplomatic with people who are being ugly. Sometimes it's very testing, it's like it's not that you're bowing to it. There's a great famous saying, never outshine your master. Let them think they are controlled. It's a level of existentialism, because if you want to make a massive change in the world, let them think they are in office. See, even this conversation, I show no fear. If there's controlled opposition, which we know there is a level of controlled opposition, I don't, because what we're doing is we're creating a very high frequency. The lower frequencies cannot come anywhere close to that, because we're not chasing money. We're not chasing. We're not competing. Competition can be very, very dangerous. So that said, we could create something where we could invite certain people back, but create a less hostile atmosphere. They feel safe. Because I've been doing regression now, and I've never charged money. Okay, whenever I've done regression, people said to me, "Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much." I said, "What did I do? Don't you realize I don't have this problem anymore?" And I'm like, because ultimately what we're doing, we're creating an atmosphere where people, like what Paul is doing now, effortlessly, people can chill in our company. They can feel at home. They can relax. They can be themselves. Most people don't even know what it's like to be them anymore. If we could create a platform where we can invite Joe Public to come in, We do an element of regression, and that includes celebrities. Yes, famous people who are not happy, who own vast estates, but they seem to be in a place where they are not in balance.
Yeah.
Imagine we say to them, you want to make a donation, please feel, because that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to say, we are giving you something which is priceless, like the Mona Lisa. So don't think you can buy this. You can't. There's not a price tag on earth. But what we can do, you can make a donation. And it can be holistic, because someone will say, I haven't got any money. Thank you. Namaste. I've got a million. Thank you. You see? Why should we charge people who don't
Yes.
have, but those who have should give? So it's
Yeah.
those asking to come forward and say, this is a time where you need to give to those who know what to do with it.
Yeah, and
So
I have no commercials. I never asked for money. Um, I don't think it belongs in this thing I'm doing. It has to be the way it is. It has to be free and without advertisers or influence from outside. But I would love to do shows together with some of Jesse's guests. He has guests that have a lot of information, knowledge, and wisdom. And yeah, I would be open to that. My stream is all paid for, so it can be used, and there's no limits on it. So I mean, sure, I would be open to that. You can message me on Messenger, and anywhere else really. X, you can message me, or Instagram. But that sounds like fun. I would enjoy that.
I'm
Doing
just right now in the lowest place that I've been in a long time, if not ever. And, just finding that motivation, and just right now I'm just not in a good place. And obviously you probably hear that with some of the things that you probably have never thought you'd ever hear coming out of my mouth here today. But I'm just not, in like a good place with all the things that have like happened, and what's going on in the world, and personal, and the stuff with these old landlords, and the tax that are coming. I just not in a good place. But I don't mind sending, I just can't commit to anything right now. I wanted to start a new show, and I had set all
right.
things up, and I had someone trying to teach me all the OBS studio and trying to get that running. I had someone trying to teach me AI to try to get some intro for the new show and all this kind of stuff. And I've been trying, and I haven't really felt motivated. I'm just been in a really low place right now. So, I really appreciate with what both of you have said, about how I have helped inspire both of you, and how I've had met,
Yeah.
it's like just the stuff that you guys have said. I really appreciate it, because like I said, I haven't been feeling all that good lately, and just hearing
Yeah.
these kind things from the both of you, that are actually true, meaningful words coming from both of your souls, have really touched me. So thank you so much for inviting me here, but also saying the things that you guys have said, because it surely, truly has touched my heart.
can I be a bit more daring? Jesse, even when you were in a, let's just say, a better state of beingness, I always offered you an opportunity to work with you, regardless. Because for me, Jesse Howe is not a label. It's a spirit that you bring to the table, brother. And I just want you to know, I'm going to be a bit more daring live, is if there's anything I can do for you, my lovely brother, I want you to know that my place is your place. So feel free to come and indulge, and just come and share what I have, and take it from there, because we need more and more people like this. I'm just reminding, I'm not here to teach anyone how to behave, by the way, but if we're going to raise the frequency, we've got to get greater care for the ones we love, because if we don't love Jesse, and if we don't, that means there's an aspect of us within ourselves that we've got to look closer to. With such an incredible being of light, for me, it's a non-brainer. I saw Jesse and I felt his vibe straight away. And I would give my bed to Jesse, and obviously I'd move out of the bed. So there's no... so, you never know, people misinterpret things. So
I give my bed to you, Jesse. So me and Jesse are going to move to Bulgaria. We're going to be bunkies. We're going to bunkie together with our positive energy. We're going to bunk it. Bunkers. The bunkers.
I've never forgotten that, offer from you, Baret. And with all the things that have been going on, you don't know how close, it was to even taking up on that offer. So I don't think I've ever forgot that. And that's something that is dear in my heart. And if I ever need to, that I trust you, I see you. And so I'd have no problem coming there. And, you don't know how close that has been to me actually asking you if that opportunity was still available because of all the craziness that's been going on in my world. So I have never forgot that. And I know that if I ever need to, that there is, a place in the world that, will welcome me with open arms.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And let's just show the plant behind the linen. How it's my favorite color. I'm going to show it to you. How beautiful. Look how beautiful that blue is. So this is the flax
That's
plant.
linen. That's linen.
This is where linen comes from. It's a beautiful blue. It's a beautiful sky blue plant, and that's where 5,000 megahertz. I mean, it's worth growing if you ever wanted to. It's time consuming how to do it, and to dry them properly, and you have to beat them, and but what it does for people, the healing part of it, the healing factor of it is so amazing that I did a show about it, about how amazing it is. And I did a show on wearing linen, like I said earlier, with Jesse. I think that was like a 5-hour show we did. That was like a marathon.
I could just imagine how much healing just having the plant around, if it is that much high frequency after you've grown it and dried it and beat it and woven it and all the stuff you did, and it still stays at 5,000. How much frequency does it have just growing in abundance around you, not even moving it into the linen? Like, I just imagine that would be great just to grow. So I'm going to look into that, because I would love to just grow that around just to have, whether you're going to put it into clothes or not.
Yeah, like right beside the bed table, have a couple of these flowers. It's actually a beautiful flower. It's my favorite color. It's sky blue, and so yeah, it's
has
a
fascinating purple to it. I love the color.
Yeah, me too.
Sorry, yeah. I was going to say Bulgaria is. Thank you. Bulgaria is renowned for roses, for example. So that's pretty high frequency as well, and obviously you've got the lotus as well. So but I'm definitely going to grow some linen now. Thanks, Paul.
The flax seed. Just look for flax, and it's easy to find.
Yeah.
Because you find the flax seed and then just grow it everywhere. Let it go crazy. And
I did the same a few hemp plants, and because my better half, she makes we make a little bit of cream and stuff, but we got drug busted last year, and unfortunately, horrible. But there was more to that, but stood the test of time. It's funny, the people that were doing that to us. I'm not going into details, especially on a live show, but again, I showed no fear. What's the worst they can put me in prison? What are they going to do? They're going to kill me. You got to be so headstrong, and I don't want to pretend that I didn't have butterflies or I didn't feel nervous. In fact, I tried to postpone this event by a few weeks because I thought, oh God, this is quite daunting assignment, you know, for me to go to the chief of police, lock eyes and say, what's going on? And then ask questions, so that they know who you are, and say, look, don't mess with me. I'm not messing with you. We know what's going on. We know how horriblous the situation is, and how our governments are behaving. And I remember many years ago, well, actually not that many years ago. I think it was somebody you had on your show, Jesse. I won't go into too much gory details, but I know that there was an issue with Jamaica, and there was something I wanted to talk to you about with the Jamaica visit, Jesse, a while back, but we won't go into that. There's no rush in any shape or form. But I remember someone saying to me, Kingston Town in Jamaica, there was some unrest, and they burnt some of the police stations down. And I'm not saying that people should do this. Crime went down. So you'd think that having police station, the crime rate will go not up, it will go down. Yeah, but it doesn't. When the police weren't there, actually crime went down. So it just goes to show, if, and I know what's going to happen. I can taste it now. This situation the planet is in, you know, we're so close to so-called third world war and this, that, and the other.
Right.
You're going to see, yes, I'm going to say it, and I'm sure I speak for the many here now, is the fact that people who are in the army right now, or police officers or whatever, really, are you really that content at what you're doing? Look in the, when you, billions are perishing, you know, and this isn't the way. This isn't protecting. Who are you protecting? Who is it you're protecting at the end of the day? So I think people are going to like stand down, because you can see more whistleblowers are coming out of the system now, and they're saying, right, I can't do this, because you know why? Because the new frequencies that are coming to the planet, yeah, if you're not impeccable and if you're not compassionate and empathetic, I don't feel that you'll be able to serve the dark as well anymore. So, an early warning sign for the start of the new year: lay down your arms, lay down your indifferences, because you'll be causing harm to yourself. No, that's the message. And I think this year, and I think I speak for us as a whole, is a launch pad. This is a launch where we're going to take greater care and responsibility, and we can visualize together, Jesse, what we want to see in the world. We start visualizing what we want to see, and it's never too early, Jesse. It's very uplifting when we come together, and as brothers that we are, to be there for one another. And this is what I'm offering, and will always, even if it's my last breath on planet Earth, I have no regrets. I'd have regrets if I didn't speak like this.
Right.
The fact that
Yeah.
we've come to, yeah, Paul?
I agree. And like the truth table's ended, but I'm not finished. The mission of the truth table is complete. You know, I did everything I could within the time frame that I had to do it, and this is the end point. The end of March is a pivotal of 3 pivotal moments that we're going to have this year. The next one is July. Let's see. July is going to be physical or personal limitations, the strain. So everything that's happening now this month is just going to weigh heavy on everyone. So a July moment is going to be a physical, and it's going to include the earth. Mother Earth is going to have effects from all these bombs bombing on her, and because she's a living being, and she's not being respected at all. And I mean, she can't be hurt. She can't be harmed. She can self-heal. She has no issues with, but she also is real. She is a living. She brings us, brings life to the flaxseed and all the other beautiful plants that we enjoy, and food. So I see all of it as living. The trees are living, and I also see all life as divine. I think the best way for that I found out and believe 100% that we all have a light inside of us. We just can't see it. And the creator gave us the firefly to be able to see what it looks like. Because the firefly, we can see it pulsing, and every living being is important, has a mission, has a purpose. And so I respect all life that way. It's a romanticizing of creation. I love creation. Even the worst of us, I know, can be mended with the right conditions. A healing perhaps, or a regression. There are ways, and a compassionate leadership is, I think, what is around the corner for us in November. We're going to have an opportunity to take the reins. Now, all the dark forces are going to want to, because we're going to have a rudderless ship. We're not going to have a captain on the ship after November, according to Gene Dixon. Even Trump is going to just be gone. He's not going to be dead. He's not going to be assassinated, or he's not going to be impeached or resign. He's just going to disappear. And all the authority of all these agencies that have harmed us are no longer going to have power. Perhaps they won't have money. Perhaps the electricity grid will be gone. There's all kinds of ways we can speculate how this can come about, her prediction. But I believe it's an opportunity for mankind, as she says, to either choose freedom or enslavement. We'll be at a fulcrum point, a fork in the road where we can put in the good teachers and create a good curriculum that will allow brilliant children to accelerate instead of being one size fits all education and one size fits all medication. We could take the harm out of get rid of all these vaccines. None of them do anything but harm. That's all they do. And you can't be putting, dead fetal tissue into a vaccine, because that tissue carries the murder it experienced, the negative. Plus, they're not even getting the sexes right. They're putting female in male and male in female. They're not even coordinating the sex properly. So they're confusing the DNA, confusing every baby's initial purpose in life is getting confused and derailed by these vaccines.
Well, beyond all the semantics of all that, which is, completely, lunacy, it's injecting synthetic things into a live being. That's it. There's beyond that. You're injecting synthetic chemicals, man-made toxins, man-made viruses, man-made all kinds of crazy shit. You're injecting it into beautiful, divine, creation beings, and that's destroying it. There's no life in injecting anything, eating synthetic foods, injecting synthetic foods, breathing in synthetic toxins, drinking water with synthetic in there. This is all toxic, right? And that's where, we have to obviously figure that out. But Baret, I know you've been itching to say something.
Yes.
What's happening, as if I've got a crystal ball in front of me, anything that's not natural is collapsing. Now, why is it important for the likes of us to come into greater space? Is because we're going to act, what the bioactivator initiated is a bridge, because it's like shock absorbers, because the shock for the average person when they realize the level of harm that has been imposed upon humanity is so deep. I think that in itself would be quite traumatic, even though they may not have a particular lived experience per se. But just hearing this, for somebody to say, really? So it's very, very important for us to create space for individuals to come to a table
Yeah.
where they can,
Think outside the box.
and also to take it on the chin and
Yeah.
it really well and not collapse. But
Yeah.
what will be collapsing is the bullshit.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
humanity will be very kind.
Yeah.
Because I practice kindness. I stay on my ranch where they've stolen from me, they've done all sorts of stuff, and I've never called the police. I've never, in fact, the police have come to me. But what I'm saying is that I've never done, I've never been had to be ugly and say, right, get out, you've done this, because what I do is the purity of the frequency, I'll put it up even higher. They'll start running the other way. They get frightened. They get not frightened because the lion's roaring, but it's a frequency that they feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. That
See, I
creator vibe.
do this with certain politicians. I mean, there are
Yep.
politicians, I see them, they dare to have eye contact with me. I don't speak Bulgarian. And I have people who really grab my hand and think, wow, you're amazing. And again, it's frequency. People can feel it.
Yeah.
So those who don't feel it or don't want to feel it, it's because their agenda is not good. So that's why I honor the space and go to the places. Let me tell you the highest form of spirituality. Go there where the stench is high.
Mm-hmm.
That shows on a barometer how elevated you are. Because if you walk the other way, okay, this is a time where we can't entertain being cowardness. This is a time where you've got to step out of your comfort zone a little bit and be a bit more courageous. Just think about the children, about, if nothing else. I went to schools. I went to schools and I've interacted with children, and I know I've made some criticisms which hasn't gone down well, but they were very honest to me. They said that we're not in charge, so stop shouting at me. Metaphorically, I'm not in charge. A headmaster would say, I'm not in charge, I take orders. Police would say the same, I am not in charge, I take orders. So, but their humanity, if they're not robots, if they're soulless, they will vanish. They will vanish. Is it that simple? Yes, it's simplified. You can simplify. If you become the walking, talking, impeccable version, yes, it will collapse. But if there's still shadows and there's still things you haven't worked on, whatever, there'll be a few cracks. But polish yourself, work on yourself, and watch that space change in front of you. That's what I say. And like I said, I'm here if people want to talk to me, because there's nothing magical, mystical. I don't put things into tablet forms. It's just a frequency regression for me. It's as simple as it gets. Chill. Learn to chill. Most people don't know what it takes to relax. What does it mean to relax these days? What does one have to do to relax? Ground yourself. Go and hug a tree. Go and hug a stranger for once.
Bare feet. Do bare feet too.
These simple exercises, you'll be surprised what medicine, true medicine is.
Yeah. And that's why the church started the witch hunts and the Spanish Inquisition. They call them witches, but they were really healers. They knew how to use plants to and they would consider that witchcraft because they weren't men of God. And it's really sad. It's sad what they've done to mankind, and to witness that and to understand that. But I do know we're doing what we're supposed to do. Every guest was supposed to be a guest. You know, I know that the numbers aren't high, but I know that the right people are hearing the message, and that's my faith. Just, I know that if I get too popular, it's going to harm, they're going to come after me because of what I'm saying, because of the level of truth and the country I'm living in, though. We may all have to move to Bulgaria.
No, forgive me for, again, I don't want to agree with that completely. Don't energize that, because I
That's okay.
know, I'll tell you something. Canadians are amazing people. I've met a few. Oh, amazing. You have an amazing country.
Mm-hmm.
But what you got to be careful about, if you want to take your country back, statements like that, you got to retract, because, and it's very difficult, Paul, forgive me for trespassing, because it's very daunting assignment, because it's real. It's, your country has been under attack for quite a while. But what I'm saying is that, why should you Canada? Let them leave Canada. And what we need is more people who are not who are we need people who are limitless fearlessness. Fear is because there's not enough love in you. And you replace fear with unconditionality. If you practice unconditionality, you remove all the pillars of fear. Death
Yeah, it's
even
not it's not
is
really a fear. I just feel like I have a mission, and I wouldn't be able to do that in jail or dead. That's all. I feel like God is a part of all of this. So I feel protected. I feel safe. I'm just being real about the intelligence agencies who have not been our friend, and the laws that are being passed could, silence someone with a good heart just for quoting a
I
scripture.
but you remember, things aren't going to collapse now. So those people, because people are waking up now. And listen,
Mhm.
I respect what you just said. So don't think I'm going to not
No,
respect
I
that.
love your honesty.
Yeah, but I feel that more and more people now are coming to the table, the truth table, and they're not going to energize that. They're not going to comply. See, coin to Caesar. What is coin to Caesar? We're putting them there because of the taxing avenues. Yeah,
Right.
you pay your taxes. This is what happens. You stop paying your taxes and watch what happens. Now, I said that to someone. I said, well, anarchy will break. What, there'll be more anarchy? Look at what, it's controlled anarchy right now. They're putting
Right.
ways of camouflaging it, so we're not seeing it. It's it started 2020, and that's imposing like never before. So what we need to realize is that if you're going to end this so-called tyranny, uh, you've got to be, now if you want to stand out from the crowd, you've got to be courageous and say, no, I'm going to be fearless. I'm going to be uh, limitless. Yeah,
Mhm.
because even 1% doubt will not crystalline you. You understand? If you want to be fully crystallized, you have to be fully pledged, and not to be afraid. And then you'll see Canada. It won't be Canada anymore. We'll be glorified as a human race. It's not about,
Mhm.
this isn't an agenda about Canada. This is about world genocide. This is,
Right.
and
Yes.
of the lunar calendar. We got
Yes.
to get this Gregorian business out of the
Yep.
way and reintroduce our lunar calendar back, and we're
Yep.
all united and free. And that's the way to. But it's good.
Yep.
Canada is an example of segments. of our bodies, which we are not taking charge of. There's a pain here, which is a part of Canada. Like Bulgaria represents the kidneys of
Mhm.
Mother Earth, which filters relationship. I had to apologize to my partner. We've been together 30 odd years. And I apologized to her 3 years ago. And I said, I'm not been having a relationship with you because I've not had a relationship with myself. When you take ownership, responsibility, and accountability, you have a relationship with life. And now you can have a relationship with all living beings
Yes.
on earth. And the more we become accustomed to this, there's just not it's not just Canada that will be sovereign, it will be the whole planet.
Yeah.
And that's what this year is all about.
Yes. I
got
do
it.
believe.
I got a perfect poem for this moment right now, and I'm sure you've all heard it, but I'm just going to read it out. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We are born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
That is awesome. Did you write this poem, or you came?
No, this is Marianne Williamson.
Wow,
And
what a
so I ever since I heard that, it's one of the most powerful things, because so many people that have so much beauty and so much light, they're afraid of it. They're afraid to shine that light because there's energy vampires out there that look
Yeah.
to try to diminish, to try to stomp on, to try to steal that light. And so people are really, because most people are good out there. There's some true monsters that have become horrifically evil here that most likely aren't redeemable, but that's a small minority of people. Most people are good. Most people have that light inside of them, and the world has taught them to diminish that light, that if you shine that light, unless you put that darkness out there where snakes will prevail, that's the type of reality that has been taught throughout the masses. But that's not true. The exact opposite is true. When you shine that light, you allow others to shine the light around you. You give people the courage. When you speak your truth, you give others courage to speak that truth. And I think that's the reality that I want to live in. And I'm sure that's probably the same for you guys and people listening out there, because I don't want to live in a reality where snakes will prosper, where the darkness overshadows all the light. I want to live in the light, and that's the best feeling of all.
Paul, when you end the show, whenever it's going to be, is if I could, I never asked for favors, but can Jesse hear the song that I wrote? Just to
Oh yes,
hear that.
for sure. Actually, what time do you have, Jesse? Because you should be close to
It's
New Year's.
11:40. It's 11:42 right now.
Ah, you still got an hour for New Year's for him.
No,
It's weird
18
how
minutes.
that works.
18. It's 11:42.
Oh,
Are we still okay for time? Because I was wondering if
there's no time limit. I already celebrated New Year's Eve. It's 1:42 for here, but I was hoping to get to where Jesse is also going to
18
cross
minutes.
that line together. So that's great. Yeah, I would love to do that song again. Let's see if I can find it
That's an
quick.
18 minutes, brother. And like I said, I'm just been feeling like a fool, and as crazy as that is, I've always tried to be in positive and inspiration
Yeah.
of light. Lately I've just been really feeling down and you know, and I don't like feeling like that. So,
No.
you know, I just been feeling like a fool.
Yeah. Well,
You
I
need a
mean, you could always
nice-
talk to me. You can always turn to me. I am here for you, brother. Both of yous, like always, any time of day. Even if I don't get back to
Anytime.
you because I'm sleeping, yeah, that door is not going to ever shut for you two. Just so you know. Let's see, I found it, and
Yeah.
it's
You tell me
beautiful.
what
It's really quite good, Barrett. I mean, you're gonna like it, Jesse. It's pretty freaking awesome. Watch. I hope it doesn't break up or anything. The Bioactivator song, Barrett Tounian. Whoop.
Bioactivator, a living flame, calling humanity back by name. From left to right, the mind aligned in sacred balance, the soul time. No more survival, no more disguise. A higher operating system starts to rise. Through solitude, stillness, calm and grace, we remember truth in this time and place. Cause no harm, cause no loss, do not impose whatever the cost. Walk in truth, walk in light, let the heart and mind reunite. Bioactivator, 0 point field. I am that I am, the highest revealed. From body to spirit, we come back alive. Upgrading the human from surviving to thrive. Yeah, physical body waking clear, etheric currents drawing near. Emotional waters now restored, mental pathways in one accord. Spirit rises bright and free, rooted in love eternally. Meridians open, the signal is strong. Organic Wi-Fi all along. Cause no harm, cause no loss. Freedom is sacred, whatever the cost. In gratitude, in love, in grace, we are remembering our rightful place. Bioactivator, 0 point field. I am that I am, the highest revealed. From body to spirit, we come back alive. Upgrading the human from surviving to thrive. This is the call, this is the sound. When in a heaven and earth are found, communities are rising, hearts in tune, under the sun and beneath the moon. A lived example, steady and true, a path of remembrance, opening through. No savior outside, the light is within. This is where real life can begin. Bioactivator, love amplified. Left brain, right brain, now unified. Through stillness and presence, we finally see the cosmic connection, what it means to be free. Love, light, gratitude. The signal is clear. Oh, bioactivation.
Wow.
I felt that. Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
What a great. I just love that groove. Like,
Wow. I love that song.
I couldn't
And
sit
brother,
still.
I've got the book coming out this year as well. I'm going to do an exhibition. I'm going to start doing exhibition. I'm going to do world exhibition with these, and I've got 11 chapters. You can read the whole book in 3 hours and get through it very, very quickly. It's a book that you can start from the end and work backwards. You can start in the middle. You can pick it up. It will make sense. It's not, because it's a dynamic inquiry. It is questioning yourself to see what level of consciousness you're at. And we're going to create an app as well. We're going to create a game. And basically, it's a feedback mechanism whereby it's kind of like telling you if you're still stuck in fear-based, or you're at a neutral place, you still got these issues, it helps you to see yourself. It's like a mirror effect where you can harmonize, neutralize, and alkaline the level of toxicity that passes through adulthood at the moment on planet Earth, and it's guardianship as well. I want to, if money comes in, or when money comes through, it's completely I want to help the planet with it. It's not that I will go out there, buy a bigger car, better house, this, that, and the other. No, it's to aid humanity, and all the resources I'm going to use as a beneficiary for upliftment.
That's beautiful.
And
thanks
you,
for
Jesse.
sharing. Thanks for creating that.
Yeah, it's quite amazing, actually.
You guys, when Paul was saying earlier, did you write that? And I said, well, yeah, kind of, but what's led that? The likes, when I rub shoulders with Jesse of the world, and Paul, and a few others that I'm not mentioning at the moment, but I thank everybody who's been such an inspiration, because I fly the flag for every one of us. It's not about me, it's about us coming together. And that's more and more people will come, because we will inspire more people to take greater care and take more ownership and question authority, not to destroy authority, but not to energize it. If we don't energize it, it'll just come down in a loving way. We don't have to be ugly and start throwing bottles at it. It's what they want, because that's energizing. Anger energizes. Remember, Paul, you had a lady on the show, and I know I didn't go down very well with her because she gets angry and she gets triggered, and I love her to bits, and I know she's a phenomenally brilliant person, and I just criticize the performance, because when you get angry and you start flaring up and you start breaking things and you get angry and you attack people, you're energizing the system, the so-called beast system. But if you want to energize it, laugh, smile at it, then but you can't fake it as well. You've got to be real. And I'm very privileged because having this kind of exposure to be with great minds like yourself, and that you've had incredible company here as well, Paul, which has been very, very uplifting. Thank you.
It's one thing I've always said is that you can't say you want to replace something by becoming the thing that you want to replace, because then the pattern just repeats and nothing ever changes. And that's what, it's like what's going on with, the war in Iran. You have these powerful militaries that's saying, oh, we don't want you to do exactly what we're doing to you. We're not going to allow you to do what we're doing. You can't do that. Only we can do that to you. And that's, trying to say is like, how evil is this regime when you're watching the evil, do what they say the evil regime, they're going to stop the evil regime for doing. They're doing that exact evil. And that's what the world is seeing, is that, they're saying how bad Iran can't have a nuke and this, while these nuclear powers are bombing and destroying and killing and saying that we're better in some way, that we have the moral right or authority, and the pattern just repeats. And that's the behavior that is going to take this whole ship, to sink.
Yeah, I think so.
And don't forget that our thoughts, our intentions are very, very powerful. So when two or more gather and hold space and we unite as one.
I will be there.
You took the words out of my mouth. I mean, that's the name of the game, isn't it? Really. And our viewers are feeling it right now, I'm sure. You know, this energy is real. It's powerful, and it's we've come here as a form of celebration. We're celebrating a moment of Independence Day every day, not once a year. See,
Yeah, and defying in our defiance of the Gregorian calendar, denying us the 13 moon cycle, denying us the 13th floor in every building. This number is our number, or they wouldn't have attacked it so much. So we are in defiance of the Gregorian calendar by celebrating our Creator's creation and our Creator's clock. And this is our first day and 6 more minutes, and Jesse will be with us. The New Year's Eve.
What I feel most bad for is, the women, because they really go to that lunar cycle. It's really, they're, biologically tuned to that. Men, we don't care if it's 50-day cycles, 30 months, 50 months, doesn't matter. But because
Right.
of the precious, divine women that actually are attuned to that, it does affect us through that. But I feel really bad that they've discombobulated women and made them not be in alignment with themselves because of how they've changed the vibration. And then, like, for a musician like Paul or even Baret with a beautiful song, is with the music, how they've changed the vibrations of music. And for anybody that enjoys music or listen to music, how they've actually changed that. It's like really sad what this reality has become, but we don't have to keep it that way.
No, I won't. I will defy it because I respect creation, and men and women collectively both have been under attack. The feminism basically was an attack on the natural, not even role, but just natural place. How we're like men and women are like two pieces of a puzzle that fit, and they just wanted to distort that fit, and they were very successful. But we're not going to put up with it anymore. We are going to. I'm going to project the truth, and I don't know if I'm going to change the name of the show. I don't know exactly what's happening. I may not have a name. There may be no title. Maybe it'll just be an information place, because I think you've done your mission, Jess. I think you've fulfilled your mission. You have the ears to listen, and hopefully they impacted other lives around them. So I mean, I think we both did what we were supposed to do, and I think a part of working with the Creator is the part of suffering that you feel now. I think that is a part of a cross that we're forced to carry. And I don't look like I have a cross, but I sure do. I sure have lots of crosses. I don't talk about them because the Creator's really strong in me and just doesn't let me get overwhelmed. But it's hard, But this show is not about me, really, unless it can help others. My story, if it can help, I will share it. But I think it's really about the people that come to the show that are what's important, when what they have to say to give you little keys, little secret keys that opens doors that you never knew were there because they were camouflaged in the wall, and there are secret doors and secret panels, and I love being a part of that.
And I know Barrett has something to say here, but I was just going to say, if you do change the name to, put the truth enema, right? Put that up in contention.
Yeah, the disinformation table.
one of the hence the title of my book is not it's Know Thyself. And I think fundamentally, I think the greatest pain and what inspired me to write in the first place is waking up every day, opening my eyes and not knowing why, or closing my eyes and not knowing where I'm going or what's happening, and how can I take greater care and ownership, and how I can eradicate one of the biggest sicknesses known to mankind is aging. Is it natural for us to age? So I was very daring with everything, and why this, why that? So you start questioning the very fabric of this so-called, when you open your eyes, even as a baby, and you're crying, and why am I crying? What am I crying about? And so when I've answered these questions, and I genuinely believe that the original template of the planet is, I like the Dolores Cannon's version, where she says that souls incarnated here to, it's like an earth school, and we're here to learn to manipulate energy. That makes more sense.
Last minute. Are you ready, John?
Yeah. So, Jesse,
He's going very soon. He's going to be yay! Wee! You're getting there. Sorry to interrupt you.
No. I mean, how many seconds?
I want to be there in the moment with air. Mine just changed to
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's, everybody in the East Coast people. Happy New Year's. Yeah,
Happy New Year now, Mountain Time. So there's only in Canada, there's only 1 hour left for Pacific for the New Year, but this is April Fools. April Fools. We're gonna fool to believe in a dark system, and you know that's and
fool no more.
You know, I
fool me once, shame
that.
on me. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
So I don't know why we're here, but you know what Baret was saying about, you know, Dolores Cannon talking about why are we here to be able to manipulate energy, and some things about these dark forces, they learned how to manipulate that energy for their benefit, for the dark. And you know, why can't we manipulate energy for the good? And it's like we were talking about that AI before. You know, I just thought that, you know, I didn't want to put my energy towards that, but why not manipulate that AI energy for the good and for the benefit, or benefit me? So, you know, we do got to learn how to manipulate energy for the benefit, because there are forces out there that are doing that for the dark. So if enough people can manipulate energy for the good, then imagine the light that can shine through this place.
Yeah, we certainly could. Like I said, we could 5G stream out 432 hertz and healing energies and frequencies. I mean, it certainly could be used for good.
It would be like a blink of an eye. I mean, it will happen so quickly, because when collective consciousness comes back to restoring itself, and it's like the scales of justice, you know, it's like science has overtaken the art aspect of life, you know, and logic taking control. And so when it gets recalibrated and it becomes into unison, which is the form of mental yoga you need to be doing, where this is what it's all about, the truth table, where we can handle the truth, because most people suppress it, they run away from it because the reality is too much, and because again it's to do with, you know, energy. Most people can't handle it, or they can handle it. The numbers need to be of a correct ratio. If the ratio is out of balance, out of tune, it's like a tuning fork. We need to bring it and correct it, so that humanity can find its feet again. And this is the time, this is the start of this phenomenal era, which we're celebrating today. And this is a gentle reminder to all our viewers, this is the name of the game, and to harmonize, neutralize the level of toxicity that is out there. And anger is not the way. And I used to get triggered 20 years ago. I'm a complete different person to what I am today. So
no way.
Yeah, I heard you were such an asshole. Just kidding.
We all have our moments, and the thing is, it's a lived experience. It's not, I didn't attend a university and I just didn't read about it. I've exposed myself to the elements. I know what it's like to be angry. I know what it's like to be happy.
Mhm.
And but Jesse, just picking up what you're saying about the women, what they're experiencing, I admire women. I think the role that they play is so crucial as well, and I honor the sacred feminine as well, and to bring this phenomenal balance back into order, and again, everything will be restored. This start of the new year, which we're all celebrating, is the start of restoration,
Mhm.
and also replacing the operating system from
Yeah,
survival to thriving. So,
yeah. And I did a
and
show on hermetic alchemy that showed that a cell splits up, it divides because they divide, right? And they divide into male and female. So like masculine and feminine, they divide. So each cell has both within. And the masculine goes to the bone structure, the muscles for movement, and the female part of that cell goes to organs, your gut, your heart. So it's just amazing how science is a beautiful part of awakening, to see how it's all connected, how women and men are there from the beginning as one, and they separate to fulfill their role to complete the body, like during the birth process. And it's just such a beautiful, that was a 3 hour show, and I we did two shows, part one and part two, on hermetic alchemy. But this is what I love about these people I meet, and even Jesse. Like, I learned a lot from his shows. He had some real smart guests. Now, you had a question about, you were talking about a guest that he had, a female. Do you remember which girl it was? It you talking about Barrett? Were you talking about Carrie Cassidy?
no, no. On your show, there was one
No.
lady.
Oh, my
Yes,
show.
on your show, she was like almost attacking people when they weren't performing in a right way. She was like being a bit abusive towards them, even manhandling them as well. And
I don't remember. Was it long
yeah,
ago or?
no, it was the last time I was on your show, and she was there as well. There were.
Oh,
You remember the lady? And because
you talking about in the you talking about in the comments?
no, no, she was on your. She was one of your guests, and she even said, "I don't agree with you" as well. She said to me, "I don't agree," because I said being aggressive, getting angry is not the way forward. And she said, "Well, I don't agree with you." And I said, "I respect that. I'm not there to impose on people's belief systems. If it's serving you well, good luck. But for the better good of mankind, I don't think that's the cutting edge stuff. If we're going to flare up, you're losing energy.
Yeah.
You've got to
what
be
I what
sensitive.
I just what I just saw from what you just said is that women have been so subdued that
Yes.
sometimes they need to get that aggressive. So you're seeing it at different. Maybe that's why she's seeing it as, yeah, I
That's
don't agree because we've had to be quiet for so long that, hey, maybe it's time for women to speak up and be a little bit more aggressive. And you're seeing it as the man coming, no, the aggression has been too much aggression. We need to actually come back into balance. So
but
that's just what I saw from what you just said.
she was attacking another fellow, another lady. She wasn't attacking a man or anything. She was attacking a woman. It was a woman to woman situation.
Mm.
Give me, I don't remember the storyline to this, but my take was, regardless of male or female, if you become aggressive, it's quite acidic to your body. You'll notice when you get angry and you were to check your alkalinity, your blood is going to become more acidic. What does that mean? It's going to be evasive to your organs. So, from a point of view, 7 being neutral, you need to stay neutral. The
in
minute, yes,
balance, you
in
don't want to go one polar to the other. I get it, I agree, but I'm just saying from what I got from that is that
yeah, no,
women feel that they need to be. I'm not just saying on women, but it's just
yeah,
because for so long they've been so squashed and not allowed to speak that,
yeah.
hey, I need to feel, I don't agree with you because I need to be aggressive, I need to be heard, not like the woman. So I think that's where maybe she was coming from, but I get
So,
it. We need to find balance because
mm,
if we're not in balance, and that's for man, for women, and balance is in unison, for us to be balanced with male and female, with the positive and the negative, everything needs to come into balance, because if it goes one extreme to the other, then, we're just spinning our wheels.
Mm.
But one thing that you guys were talking about earlier about the population, about not agreeing with it, I was just listening to this Chinese lady, and she was talking about in China, she doesn't believe there's actually 1.5 billion people there, and how she come to that conclusion, and about how reality is being manipulated. She was saying, I think it was, I don't remember exactly, 75 years ago or 100 years ago, there was only like 400 million, as they said, at that time in China. And in order for, you to have a population increase, if you have a mother and a father, that's two people. That means in order for to stay at the same level, you have to have two kids. So if you have 450 million people and each couple is having two kids, you'll just stay at the same population. So in order for them to go from 450 million to 1.5 billion, they'd have to have 6 kids each in order for you to go from 400 to 1.5 billion. But in China, they were restricting the amount of kids that they could have for the last 50, 60, 70 years to only one child. So
Mm.
you're talking about population of 450 million people would actually decline if you're not having at least 2 children. It would stay the same, but they were only allowed to have 1 kid or 1.5 kids. So for them to say we have 1.5 billion Chinese people, when the math of the children amount doesn't equate to that, is again reality being manipulated. Do we really have 8 billion people? Do we have only 2 billion people? Do we only have 500 million people? We're only taking the word of other people, and they've manipulated reality so much. What is the actual truth? So I just remember you guys were talking about that earlier, so I just wanted to share what I was just listening about this one lady talking about. She only thinks that there's 400 million Chinese people tops.
can I just add something, Paul, quickly to that? Yeah, I mean, the power, we have to watch our words because there's a lot of spell words out there, but the powers that were, started the new year as well, they were very good at creating illusion because they're very good at creating density. So when we've got these big cities where it's all crowded, so they cram you all in, and there's lack of space and parking, there's less parking space and what have you, they make you feel guilty for owning anything. But then
Yeah.
but then all the villages, all the other countryside, there's no one there, so this is what I'm saying. We need to look at it from this. Bulgaria is a classic example. A lot of the villages are empty. So if you go to Sofia, the main capital, or you go to the second largest city, which is Plovdiv, which is an amazing place. If you've never been there, it's much older than Rome. Again, the numbers extremely far exceed the percentages of, in my villages, as an example, it's like 50 people. Okay, you hardly see any cars, but you go to a neighboring, let's say, Stara Zagora, which is the 5th largest city. It's pretty crowded, it's overpopulated, and you think, wow, there's so many people. But I think 80% of the woodlands, and of course they've been chopping loads of trees, but what's left of it is empty space. So the powers that were, they were very manipulative in creating this illusion that we're overpopulated. And I saved the best for last. Scarcity is a myth in itself. There's no such thing as scarcity. Uh, I've always been abundant because, one of the magic reasons why I've been abundant is because I never energize 1 second that there is scarcity. So the minute you energize that, there's a lovely message that's come through. I don't know who this lady is exactly.
Angeline.
That's Angeline.
Okay.
There are few places for women to feel safe or protected. We have all been divided by the trauma in this world. Blessing to you all. Big hugs. Thank you, Angeline. Yes, we met a lot of beautiful people, and we are helping to pry open that third eye, and that's what we can hope for, is to wake people up and let them fulfill their own purpose, because God doesn't make junk. All have a purpose, and if we can help someone find their purpose, then our job is done.
I think the greatest gift we can share on platform like this, and without me dictating in any shape or form, is to understand.
You dictator.
To activate that ability to see. And Jesse, you've mentioned it. Even you've shared on your show as well what you can do to decalcify your pineal gland.
Yes.
So that because what it then does, it releases an ointment where your spine it gets lubricated, and it's like an antidote. So, and it's connecting to hence the music I created, the signal, the organic Wi-Fi, not the synthetic one. Although we have nothing against the synthetic one, as long as it doesn't cause harm, loss, impose on sovereignty, and walks universal naturally. Like, in other words, promoting. It's going to promote truth. Bring it on. But if it's going to go against the truth, then obviously we're not hunky dory about it. So that's what we're kind of bringing to the table,
But a lot of people don't have that discernment. So having that discernment helps us to guide others. It helps to show, and for me, it's easier because, like with the flaxseed, or why it says not to mix wool and linen together, didn't make any sense to me. But discernment brought me the answer. I found the answer, and my faith is a part of that. And I empowered whoever hears that to understand that there really is a physical benefit of linen. But you don't want to mix it with anything else, especially wool will just make it zero to no benefit. So, it's okay to have a linen sheet, but you don't want to have a wool sheet underneath. You know what I mean?
This year we're going to embark on creating sustainable new types of living quarters on the planet Earth, because if you understand what chi is all about, the life force energy, it needs to flow, because with the conventional all types of properties that we're living in, the energy doesn't flow, especially when you got corners, it gets stagnated and everything. So we're creating a dome kind of living space where the energy flows. If you've never been in a dome, I urge you to go in one. I mean, if it's done correctly and it's built, especially on particular fertile land as well, and you ground yourself, you create that 0 point vortex of energy where your biological clock, your biosphere beingness, with connection with Mother Earth from the micro to the macro, you'll be able to eradicate the aging process altogether, because you'll be living in a harmony where the energy is flowing. It's a bit like your body. The reason why we're aging is because things are stagnating and things are not flowing properly. And so if you can eradicate and rid those disharmonies and harmonize it, especially in a living quarter where you feel completely it raises your frequency. At the same time, you're grounding yourself. That is a very beautiful space and they're very inaffordable as well. I mean, they're very
Yeah.
affordable. It starts as little. It depends how big you want it, really. So size is not everything, they say. I think the smaller the better. And great, it's a great way of enjoying the outdoors,
Mhm.
and you can incorporate your living spaces with having plants as well for bringing oxygen and all sorts of things. So that's the sort of things we're looking at the moment. We've been looking
Mm.
at it for a while now. So I'm looking for
Amazing.
individuals who want to come and work with
I
us
would
on the.
I would love to get you and Shane Wolf together. He was my guest a few days ago, but he has built. He was a climate alarmist. He fell for it, so he was trying to fix it. He was trying to. So he designed a home that was sustainable. And this is
Fantastic.
to me, this is our future. If
Absolutely.
if if all the bad people lose their power, that means we're looking at a renaissance. We're looking at releasing technologies. We're looking at medicines, life extensions, things that will just kill all parasites and cancers in bodies. Like this is what I see. I'm very optimistic, but I do know that this part has to happen first. But I love being a part of the good side. I feel like I'm on the right side of history, like Jesse and you. We really come from a place of love, and that's so empowering to find like-minded people.
I love hearing both of your positivity about what's going on and about the future and about, just things, just listening to both of you, talk, warms my heart because, like I said, I've been really feeling down and low lately. And so, you've helped, bring me up. And I appreciate both of you for that. So thank you so much.
Well, I
Thank you,
think it's
Jess.
important that you need to genuine love when you have it, and especially when you're down. It's so important that you understand that you are loved at your worst and your best.
Yeah, and if there's anything we can do, Jesse, please don't hesitate at all. Would love to do whatever.
I know I've been hearing your messages and seeing, and I've been meaning to call, and it's just like I said, I just not been in a good place, and
Hmm.
I just don't want to bring other people down. Is why I just kind of, I haven't been obviously online much. I post a few things here and there, but I this is like only the second time in probably 6 months that I've actually been live somewhere. There's another
Hmm.
guy, Hugo. He invited me to his show. I don't know, maybe a few months ago I was there and he invited me back, but I haven't been online or anything, right? But it's hard to want to, like, I used to enjoy being so online because I wanted to share my positivity. I wanted to share my
Yes.
inquisitiveness. I wanted to share, just that zest for life and trying to learn from all these amazing people. And all these people started falling into my lap and it started connecting people. And oh, I never knew about this guy. And all that like positivity was just making me feel incredible. Right. And the
Yeah. Yeah.
learning and the connecting and then meeting beautiful souls like yourself. I've met so many like 1,000 people. I probably interviewed probably 800 people, and 799 of them were amazing. I had that one person like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
that I didn't vibe with, but I really appreciate even just having the friendship and things. I know there's lots of people out there that do consider me a friend and would extend their hand at any
Yeah.
time, but it's just hard when when you just feel down
I,
to want to
yeah. I can.
connect with others, and that's just the way
Yeah.
I've been feeling. So thanks
I
again
can
for
relate.
inviting me here tonight.
No, I can relate to you. 100%. Uh, when I'm down, I don't visit friends. I don't want to be seen. I hate my door being knocked on or the phone ringing. I just want to be alone in my misery. And sometimes we do need that to just realign ourselves and to allow ourselves to feel beaten sometimes. Sometimes that alone time can actually be a time uh, to heal, you know. And I don't like being around other people when I'm feeling that way. I prefer to be alone because I don't want to bring anyone down, just like you. And sometimes I tell my friends, I'm a bad friend, okay? Because I don't visit my friends, and I should. I have friends that are close to here, but I just don't visit them, and um, and I feel guilty. But I know they know when they see me. There's no doubt in their mind that I am their friend, and I love them and I adore them. So that is always a constant. But yeah, when I'm down, I don't want to share that part of myself. And so I can relate 100%. I'm exactly the same.
Garrett doesn't agree.
Look,
Which is why he's here.
one of the greatest upliftments that I've experienced when I can feel the pain of another sentient being, okay? And if I can be the change and help them, you helping me in such a profound way because I was there for you unconditionally. So don't think it's one way traffic, it's not. So you're giving me the chance to grow as well. So whatever I possess in any shape or form, the fact that I am in this position is because I've been there for others who've been in pain, who've been at the place where they were broken or suicidal or whatever the word we want to use. Yeah. And for me to feel that pain and to hold that space where, and I said, don't thank me, because it's all about being together. It's about sharing space. It's creating communities. That's the name of the game. So I have to respect people's wishes. I'm not here to impose on Jesse, or I respect your wishes, but just know that if you want to help me to help you.
I get that 100%. And as you were just saying that, it's like being selfish to not want to be around someone that can actually lift you up, because they would feel so grateful just to be a part of being able to lift somebody up, that it's super selfish to not even allow that person the opportunity to, to feel that, because when you do lift someone up, the feeling inside is incredible. And so, not allowing someone to even, the opportunity for something like that is almost a selfish thing. But when you're down, you don't think about that, right? You just, that's the thing is when you're at a place at a high vibration, you open and welcome all of that. But when you're on the flip side of it, you're closed. You don't want to, bring, but I know exactly what you just said. It makes a lot of sense.
Because Jesse, let's face it, you were very high up. You were there, and then suddenly, bang! It went down heavy because of the level. In my eyes, you didn't go down. I'm not. If I'm a small percentage of validation, so be it. If you need validation, in my eyes, you didn't go anywhere. The people who did that to you, they haven't succeeded, because the celebration that we're embarking on today and all the days that follow in the new lunar calendar, welcome back, Jesse Howe, because you are such an important link. So this is an invitation for the start of the celebration, that we hold you, we see you, and the biggest hug ever to you, my lovely brother, and to your angelic soul warrior Angeline as well, because I see her as well. And I want to give gratitude to your parents and your ancestral brothers and sisters for all the genetical makeup within your excuse me, your DNA, because they don't come much purer than you, my lovely brother. So it's, you need to get this back, because you need to know that you are extremely loved. You need to know you're extremely appreciated. And to David Icke, I would say, yeah, I get why he did what he did, but know why he did that, because the more pure you are, I mean, you know, the saying goes, we often condemn what we don't understand, because your frequency is at a higher level. So, but guess what, Jesse? I mean, the start of this celebration, Truth Table with the likes of our brother here as well, Paul. You know, this is what it's about. This is about us coming together to celebrate in unison. So you're not alone, my brother. If you're feeling the pain, I'm feeling the pain with you, because seeing my brother not where he belongs, it makes me feel a little bit out of place as well. Not a little, quite a bit actually. It's important for us. Yes, thank you. It's so important for us to have this exchange and to feel each other, and to know that you're not alone, brother,
No.
and and know that, you know, seriously, we understand what it is that what's happened to you, and we want to know how we can be a bridge, and link up with you, and really celebrate this incredible new world, the heaven on earth scenario, because I genuinely think we can make this happen and visualize together.
I
And
think so. Yep.
When you help one, you help us all. When you harm one, you harm us all. When one person is feeling down, we can all feel that. When one person is feeling, incredible and up, we all feel that, because, in this reality, as much as people don't want to admit it or believe it, we are all connected, and we do all, reflect on each other. So, when the stuff that is happening in parts of the world, like, we feel that, like, I feel that. I can't imagine that anybody, out there that doesn't have a heart, that isn't soulless, wouldn't feel some of the, horrific things that are going on in the world. But again, when on the flip side, when we hear of these incredible things that happen and achievements, and it makes me feel good. I never even heard of a person, and I hear a story or some kind of credible achievement or something that happens, my whole being lifts up. You just feel wonderful, and it's because we are truly connected. And a lot of people don't want to believe or admit that, but the right people, I guess, do and will.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And we are here for you. We're here for each other. My door's always open for that. But I can relate to other people. I'm an empath, so if someone's sad, I will feel it. I think you are too, Baret. You probably do, Jesse, where you can sense. But I feel the same way though. When I'm down, I don't want to be a burden on anyone else. And I feel like I am a burden if I talk about my problems.
But
I think
you left, Paul, did you hear where we got when we talked? That I know you had went off screen, so we were just talking about that. And one of the realizations that I came to, it's almost selfish to feel that way, because you're actually not allowing someone the ability to feel wonderful for lifting your spirit up when you're down. So when someone comes to you and you're feeling good, and someone comes to you with their problems or they're down, and all of a sudden you just said that thing, or you just held space and you lifted them up, and all of a sudden their energy is completely different, you feel incredible, don't you?
It's true, and I love to do that. I
And
love to
you
be
love
that
to
for
do that.
someone.
So when you're in that position,
Yeah,
and
the
then
opposite.
you don't allow someone to feel that, that's selfish. And I was just, when Bear
Yeah,
just said that, I was just thinking, I was like, wow, that is actually selfish to not
Yeah.
allow people to bring you up instead of feeling like, hey, I don't want to burden that person. It's the exact opposite. You're actually, not allowing them to feel some incredible feeling because of how selfish you are, and you just rather wallow in your own sorrows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree that it would be selfishness. I see it as not burdening. I usually am able to lift myself out of any sadness I may experience. Uh, but I do get lifted up by people like yourselves. Just talking, because it's I feel and I learn with your words, like now. I never saw it as being selfish, but I guess it really is, because I don't give that to friends. But I mean, I'm not really going through a lot. I'm not down, and I haven't been. I think I get sad because of wars and Gaza. These things make me very sad. What's being done to children is very sad for me. Um, what's been done to women is sad for me. But this is a mankind thing that I feel. It's not a personal. It's not me. You know what I mean? So I don't think I think I've developed out of that style of not wanting to burden others. I think I'm in a different place. Perhaps in my 30s and 40s, I was very much like that, and where I was alone for a very long time, and you know, but my reasoning was I don't want to be burdened to other people. They all have their own burdens crosses to carry. That's the way I saw it. But yeah, now I see it a little bit different. I suppose it was being selfish. I suppose I didn't give the benefit of doubt that someone could lift me.
Or that they would feel wonderful in a bliss state for actually bringing you up, because I know anytime that I'm able to help somebody, I feel incredible. But your thoughts, Barrett?
Just to bring back the analogy of the mug, because when the mug is full and it's flowing out, is what I'm giving away, the excess. Because if my mug was half full and my energies feel depleted, because it can be quite daunting sometimes to sit with someone and to go through their, their life stories and so forth and so forth. But you see, a lot of it is the atmosphere that you create. It's not so much the words. The words are powerful, of course, but it's the beingness. Because I can see the lack in that beingness. I can see how much or what's holding them, or what is the anchor. And majority of the time, I feel they're not present because they don't like themselves. Because if you like yourself, you'll be present. You take full ownership. They're either living in the future because this is what I want to become, or they're living in the past. But seldom that you could sit with someone, and there's not many of them around, that you could actually sit with someone and say, well, I brought the past and future into the oneness. I've actually changed my past because I went back with a whole different attitude. And what did I do? I took this frequency, which is absolutely grateful for who I am, what I am. I went back and I said, thank you for the hardship. Thank you. You see, now, what's happened to you, Jesse, for example, you might not realize it, but maybe in a week's time or in a few hours' time, you think maybe it's the best thing that ever happened to me. Yeah. And you, at this moment, you're thinking, well, no, it's not, because it's painful. This is, if you're in, and let's just generalize, not that I'm going to trigger something in Jesse, but if people are in victimhood, okay, they feel victimized, they feel cornered, and something's happened. And yes, it is disgusting, it is real, and it's very difficult to knock it on the head, because the pain is very real, the pain is very testing. But the only way you can overcome it is say, what have I learned from this lesson? because it's a life lesson. Because Jesse, let me tell you something, brother. We live in an illusion, and the only thing that's real in the illusion is the experience that we take away with us, because that's the only thing that's real. And to understand how to play the game in terms of spiritual merit, you're doing me a favor by helping you. Trust me. If you understand the law of attraction and the laws of retribution, you're actually helping me more than you're helping yourself. Because when you give me the opportunity to come and be part of the change we want to see together, yeah, what is it that we're removing? We're removing the parts of you that's maybe stagnant, maybe parts of you that need attention, and the magic word. Because many years ago, a doctor phoned me and said, "What are you doing to this lady? Because she's coming off her tablet, she's doing really well. What's the magic word?" And I said, "Love." So, what am I doing ultimately? I'm loving you. Yeah. But I'm loving you from an unconditional point. It's not about self-gain. So if you're in the wrong company, Jesse, if people want to help you because they want to gain something from you, I can see why you don't want to go there. But if you have an opportunity where you're around genuine people, brothers and sisters who are going to love you, it's like the old ancient saying, to be a successful mentor, through the eyes of your pupil, you'll be taught. In other words, it's give and take. It takes two to tango. So you're helping me just as much as you're helping yourself, as long as the ethos is perfectly aligned, where we are not going to cause harm. We're not going to cause any form of lost energy, I'm talking about. And we're certainly not going to impose on you. And we understand what universal truth is. So I think that said, that formula alone, that recipe is the makeup for this new celebration that we're sharing with Paul and Truth Table, and what Paul used that wonderful word Renaissance is all about. So this is an invitation, my lovely brother. This is forgive me for speaking my mind, my heart to you. This is an invitation, and if you take it, thank you. If you don't take it, thank you. I'm not here to impose on you. So I will love you just as much. I'll be happier if you took it, because the amplification will be greater. It will speed the process up. So as people go in this way, that's the only link. It will speed the acceleration. You coming on board. So thank you for the opportunity. That's all I can say.
As soon as I get off of here, I'm gonna pack my bags and I'll be there in a few days, bro.
Yeah, we'll do it like a bioactivator logo, and we'll start doing that.
I'm just joking, but I thought that would be. No, I know I can't right now, though. It's I wish I could, but there's obviously situations and circumstances that are
divine timing.
Yeah, when the timing is right, though.
But love is simply being there, holding space and love for one's own healing, safety. We naturally want to heal and to fight and the right environment can make all the difference. Yes, our brilliant friend. We have so many beautiful people in this world that I've met. Feel so fortunate, and this is like the best way to end the season, and I'm looking forward to what's happening next. What's the next step, because the creator really said, this is it, you're done. It's time to leave Facebook. I mean, the creator speaks to me through my gut. I don't hear any voices or anything, but it is through my gut, and it's really a fine-tuned relationship I have, where God is really helping me to not fall and fail, and I feel very protected. because of my faith. I think, God honors my faith and my relationship and my trust with him or her. Or it. I don't know what the creator is. I define him as an entity that is an enigma
The
beyond
all
my
in all.
comprehension. Also, I use the word. Uh, I think creator is like the most effective way to pray because, like I said, God, GAD, it's Gadriel, the snake, the serpent in the Garden of Eden. So they've replaced that word and we got people to pray to God. And even Lord. What is Lord? Baal, Baal. The one that Iran was burning, Baal. The translation is Lord. So evil has infiltrated the church, for God's sakes. Oops. See, I did it. And that's the
It
power of words. They've
infiltrated
used
everything.
they use the power of words to remove the creator from our lives. So we no longer speak to the creator. And the creator's within us. It's like you calling me Jim. If you get the word wrong, you're not really addressing me. You're not speaking to me. And that's the beauty of this show. I talked about words, and I value that thing. Even linen, even though that doesn't seem very significant, it's an empowering force. It's an empowering thing you can do for your body, and it's a beautiful flower. I mean, I hope I inspired people to grow it because it's such a beautiful little secret to find out. And it
Totally.
explained why it's in the Bible 2 times. I mean, it really is. So it didn't make sense to me. It's like, why is this important? Now I know why it's important. So I celebrate the ability to be able to share that knowledge with people. Because to me, that's just a key, another key that to a hidden place, a hidden door that none of us are told about. That excites me.
And the creator is the all in all. So when you're saying that people aren't really speaking to creator creation, I think people are speaking to it all the time in different ways, in the way they speaking to each other, in the way they speaking to nature, to the animals. We're always in communication with creator. So
Yeah,
that's something that you hasn't stopped. Has the old church sit down and I'll say, dear Heavenly Father, and the way that the church wants you. Maybe people aren't doing that as much, but I don't think people have ever stopped communicating with creator or
yeah.
creation because the creator is the all in all. So
Hmm.
any communication that you have with yourself is communicating with creator. Any communication that I have with you two is communicating with creation, with puppy, with, just going out and having a
The
walk or
tree.
meditating. It's always in constant communication. So,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
that the fallacy to say that, we're no longer communicating with creator because everyone communicates with creator all the
Yeah,
time in
yeah.
my eyes.
And to me, it's just the satisfaction for me is just knowing that I'm like respecting the creator as much as I can in addressing, you know, because I know it's forbidden to say the name of God. So we can't do that. But we have all these alternative gods that have been put. Amen, for example. Every Catholic says amen at the end of a prayer. So they're giving that prayer to Amun Ra, the lowest level of the Sumerian gods. He was the one digging the Euphrates river, The higher ups didn't do that. The Sumerian tablets was actually fascinating because it showed the levels of authority, like a military, the colonels and the sergeants, and so they had levels. And Gigi was the lowest, and Amun was the lowest level. So, so this is the church has been bad, very naughty. And I'm not going to sit quiet about it, but I would have been hung 100 years ago for heresy.
Well,
People weren't
that's
even
because
allowed to have a Bible.
well, that's what you were talking about, you guys, before, about how they would, go after the people that were creating, natural medicines or whatever. But it's just people that, weren't programmed, the people that were free thinkers. Anyone that's a free thinker that doesn't
Mhm.
follow, the rules, doesn't follow, exactly the indoctrination, follow being told what to do. If you're not happy being told by authority what to do, well, then you would be crucified. That's, they would want to attack you. And that's where we're feeling that now, is
Yes.
the people that are free are the ones that we do come into contact. The vibe attracts your tribe. There are people that, they say NPCs or soulless beings that just believe the government, believe the news, do exactly as told. And why don't they question authority? Why don't they question what's going on? And those are the people that, they want in their system. And the ones that, the Christian crusades and this and that, where they were just going after free thinkers that wanted to create their own medicines, that wanted to live in love instead of live in fear, that, the place that is makes people easily controlled.
Yeah, and finding a medicine, being able to save a tribe from some kind of new virus or something, and finding that medicine be something you celebrate and you want to tell the world. And as I would today, but I mean, if I had a cure for cancer, I wouldn't have long to live, and I wouldn't die of cancer, certainly. That's a place that we have to, as good as we may be spiritually in ourselves, we have to address that darkness, because people are falling and they're being manipulated into believing things that aren't true, and into a, a controlled demolition. That's what I see. A control, like Carney in Canada. He's a controlled demolition. He's spending money. He wants to save the forest now, but forget food banks. Everyone's in a food bank now. So
Well,
yeah, it's a control theft. Go
do you know
ahead.
how they're spending money like no tomorrow, these governments and this and this and that? It's because they know it's all going to be gone. And so they
Yeah,
don't care. It's they're going through and spending this and this because it's all coming crashing down. So it doesn't
yeah,
matter how much they spend. It doesn't matter what they do, because the whole system is coming down. Now,
yeah,
are we going to grow something better? And I hear your guys' positivities, and I've been feeling kind of down and not believing that, we're, maybe going to grow into something better. But just hearing and spending some time with you guys tonight, has, helped boost my positivity a bit, and it needed it. So thank you both.
I'm grateful myself. Can you believe it's been 4 hours? It just flies by with us three. Like there's no time here. We're living in like an altered reality, of floating. I
But
want to bear.
probably a good time. I'm going to say thank you so much to both of you.
Yeah,
Again, really appreciate. I haven't like spent much time online or in front of the camera or anything like that. So just being invited here tonight is appreciative. And like I said, I really needed, I guess, a little boost. The
yep,
last time I was on with the other guy, I was kind of down then too. So it's been a while that I've kind of been down, kind of in the dumps. But
it's
now I'm
okay,
kind of at
brother.
the lowest point in my life. So it's
Hmm.
nice to be able to feel, around some brothers, and
Yeah,
feel some positivity, and just listening to you guys talk positive about, the future and things like that. It's invigorating, because I've always been the one that's tried to instill that positivity in
yeah,
everybody. And so it's nice to
yeah.
like feel a little of it back. So thanks again to both of you. I love you both.
Thank
Love you.
you. We love you both too. And yes, my door's always open to message me. If you don't have my email, in case we don't, I think you have other.
No, we
My
just connected numbers and emails. Remember, we just connected.
oh, yep, 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 yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, um, I'm glad we were able to lift you up. And we're both here for you at any point in time that you need a friend, an ear, and that's not going to change. And I can't even believe it's been 4 hours. I did not feel that. I think it's because we all care, and when you get two or more gathered in my name, I am among you, and that's why time is flying, because it's a spiritual beauty that we share together, and our spirits like each other, and I think that's good, and I'm glad we were able to lift you, out of a dark place. I understand that dark place, and even Barrett is very good at regression, and he could help as well. And I know he's there for us anytime. And any last words, Barrett? Would you like to?
Thank you again, Paul. Thank you again, Jesse, and thank you to our beautiful viewers to be amongst us, celebrating the start of this incredible start of a beautiful renaissance, a beginning where we'll take greater care of ourselves, ownership, responsibility, accountability. We are the saviors. We are the saviors. So and kindness, compassion, empathy, and to lift people up. If some people are more privileged than others, please extend your hand with kindness. It's not money people want generally, it's love. So that love factor will restore the lack and create more abundance, and it will ripple. And on that note, I'd like to thank you all from Bulgaria, Mother Earth, and beyond, and exciting times. And I look forward to the challenges. With we all need to be more courageous, and I genuinely feel we're doing it, and we're doing it really well, considering what we've all been through, and we stand together. And much love, light, and gratitude to you all. Thank you.
Thank you. And
Namaste.
I would like to thank all my guests. I would like to thank everyone who followed the Truth Table through both seasons. It means a lot to me. The guests have been amazing, and it's been quite a journey. And the Truth Table might be over, but my mission is never going to be over, not until the finish line. And I wish you all a happy New Year's.
Happy
I
New Year,
want
and
the
thanks
truth.
for
You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Yes, we can. Good night, all. Thanks for staying up with us. I appreciate you all. And
And thanks, Paul. Thanks, Paul, for all you've done and all your, hard work that you've put into this, reaching out to all the people, spending all the time that you have, connecting the people that you have. You've done amazing work, and I'm happy to be part of it. I'm happy to be here at your final episode. You completed your mission, and the world appreciates everything you've done to make it a better place. So may the source be with you in everything that you do.
and if someone wants you to wear a mask, what do you
You
say?
say no mask, eh?
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thank you at
Bye,
home. Love you.
everyone.